Live and local, it's time for Fan Sports Sunday. If the weekend is a big desert for sports talk, think of this show as an oasis.
Yes, here we go.
Come drink from our pool of hot takes as you quench your thirst with. I thought I was going somewhere, but I'm not. So let's just start the show. Here's Elon Musk.
Okay. Not Elon Musk. Update the damn imaging. All right, it's Tito. Dane Sanzenbacher to my right.
Hi, Tito. Thanks for having me, man.
Listen, FYI, Dane, I did not do the applause thing. That was Cam back there. I would have done it. I would have. But Cam did it, which I thought was cool. Cam, don't do the... Oh, Cam, let's not go there, bud. Seriously? Wow. I would not do that, Dane. That's not my style.
Was that for you or me?
Honestly, probably for me.
Why are you booing me, Cam?
Cam, what you want to talk about that?
I don't know what's going on. I just hit the applause button again and
wrong button.
Must have got
hey, that happens. We got 3 hours to get this thing right.
It's that's weird how that comes up.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Thank you, Roddy Piper, on that one, by the way. So, okay, big show lined up for you today. We're here till 2 o'clock. If you're looking for the Browns, and God, why would you want to look for the Browns? They're on the 1460 AM side over there on ESPN for us. So we are here on the AM side, FM side today because later on today we got Jackets time. But there's so much talk about, Dane, with regards to college basketball, college football, the NFL. My God, what a great day it's going to be for today. So we will have Mecca Don on at 12:30. Buckle up with him. We will talk to him about the playoff and the game coming up against Tennessee. When you and I reconvene next week at this time, we will know where Ohio State's at. Hopefully still playing. But we'll have that. So we'll break that down a little bit. How exciting,
Tito. We get to be kind of the first voice after, the morning after.
Yeah, right. It should be good because 8 o'clock games, so there won't be like major post-game stuff. And then, look, they'll have they will have On the Money on, and they'll talk about it. But then you and I then get to dive in.
And they're going to wait for us.
I would think they would. Don't talk about it at all. Yesterday, Ohio State men's basketball team got blown out by Auburn 91-53. They host Valparaiso on Tuesday. OSU women rolled Youngstown State 87-39. They've got Grand Valley State at noon on a Tuesday. It looks like a noon Tuesday tip for a women's basketball game. Travis Hunter won the Heisman. Were you... I shouldn't say you're surprised. Travis Hunter, I totally expected Dane to win the Heisman Trophy going into this. Do you think, like, if you had a vote, you don't have a vote, do you?
No.
Okay, because I know Reeser has a vote.
I'm flattered you asked.
Bobby has a vote.
What?
Reeser, Bobby, and there's somebody else here I think has a vote.
Oh, I guess I didn't know how far the voting spread.
Yeah, I know. Like, Reeser knew somebody who knew somebody.
I kind of thought it was like 30 people that voted on it.
Oh, no, there's a lot more than that. There's thousands that vote on it.
Really?
Yeah, there's like over, there might be, I don't know, 1,000 or 2,000, somewhere in there.
No, I don't have a vote.
Okay. Would that be your vote, Travis Hunter?
It wouldn't have been. I was more of a Genty guy. I thought what he did was really impressive. I tend to lean heavier on the fact that Boise's still relevant. They're still in the playoff. And so, I know the Heisman is it's an individual award, but I feel like it's always had a team lean to it. It's typically gone to guys that are still in the chatter at the time that it is awarded.
Right.
Like the teams that are still in the hunt. So I think, Boise's impressive year would have bumped him a little. That said, I get it in an era when it's getting more and more about entertainment of the sport. That dude was the most entertaining guy in the country. I mean, regardless of what you feel the competition he played, it was just cool to watch. And when a Colorado game was on, you wanted to see what he was going to do because people don't get to play both ways very often.
Yeah, it doesn't have. You're right. And him playing 100 plays a game and things like that, both sides of the ball. He won the Biletnikoff Award as top receiver and the Bednarik Award as the top defensive player.
What do you think about it? We all thought he was going to win it.
Right.
Or are you one that thought like he definitely should, or did you lean another way?
No, I thought Hunter was the guy. I really did, based on what he was able to do, playing the both ways thing, and not just like both ways. Okay, now this is I say this right now as I'm a Chris Gamble fan. Chris Gamble was a really good two-way player. he was not elite on either side. You know what I mean? He was good receiver, a good defensive back for Ohio State when he played both ways for Ohio State and also did some returns. He was a good player. He was not elite. No one ever said Chris Gamble's the best defensive back in the country or Chris Gamble's the best wide receiver in the country. That part is what I think sets Travis Hunter apart. I don't think he was the best receiver. Could you say he's top 10? Yeah, as far as receiver goes. Cornerback, I think he's probably top 5, maybe the best, but he's in that conversation. So I think that it was the right call because of the fact that how much he played. And I know that Colorado did not make the CFP. They lost the game to Kansas that they lost. And so they had some losses down the stretch that cost them a chance to be in the playoff. But for me, as much as I like Janty, and he was fun to watch, I love the bell cow running back, and he's going to challenge Barry Sanders' record, even though he's got more games. He's going to challenge Barry Sanders' record, though, for most yards of the season.
It's not exhilarating, though. He is, but it's just a different kind of thing. You know, my question with this, too, Travis Hunter's obviously an outstanding athlete, right? There's no question he's one of the best athletes in the country. I think people could do this. I think more people could do this, but it's just rare that a coach would have you do it. I don't think it would be as taxing. Impressive that he stayed that healthy.
Sure.
But, I mean, playing both ways, it's not done much in college because coaches don't want it to be done. I don't think that there's guys that couldn't do it.
Isn't it weird? Like in high school, you saw guys do it. You did it.
I did it.
Right. You saw guys do it.
A huge majority of people do it, and you can still be really productive on both sides. It's especially at positions like receiver and corner.
Right.
A run play, you're pretty much off.
Yeah.
You know, you can get through a game without being taxed. In fact, you stay more locked into the game. It can be hard to come off the bench after a long drive and go out there and play receiver. It can be tough. So that's not at all taken away from what he accomplished this year. But what struck me was I wonder how many guys could do this, and if there is, or if he's kind of like less of an outlier and more of a model that if you've got a guy,
right,
dude, keep him on the field as much as you can.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know. But I just think there are some guys out there that I've played with some freak athletes that they probably could have been out there on both sides, and if they're good enough, why not? Keep them in the rhythm.
If I'm a coach, I need to have an open mind on things like that. And, it wouldn't happen, say, okay, let's just say with you, for instance, you were a very good receiver. You probably were not one of the better defensive backs on your teams.
How did you do this already, Tito?
I'm not. Don't. No, that's not what this is.
How did you? We're within the first segment, and it's without fail. You find a way to either diminish my talents or insult me.
Do you think you're one of the best DBs on the Ohio State team?
Heck no.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
I was good in high school,
right.
though.
Okay, if you were a good DB, though, I would hope that Ohio State would have the mindset, the open mindset of, if he's one of our best 5 or 6 DBs, we're going to play him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I hope coaches, Ohio State coaches, have that mindset of, now at Ohio State, granted, you've got guys that are great defensive backs. You got guys that are great receivers. Ohio State receiving room, elite, upper echelon type thing. It'd be really hard for Ohio State DB to crack that.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like it's almost a perfect storm had to happen with this going from Jackson State to traveling to Colorado. It was already kind of built in. He knew this guy. He wanted to try him do it. And you have a coach that is all about trying the new thing, trying the thing that people are going to talk about. So maybe I don't see it happening all that often,
right?
But I think he caught a perfect storm.
Sure.
But I do think people could do it.
I just think it happens more
when
going
rosters
forward.
with rosters as stacked as they are, though, at the top.
Sure.
I'm not talking about Colorado. I'm talking and they've had a good roster.
Yeah.
But like the Ohio States, the Georgias, you're so deep at those positions that are the coaches going to say, okay, let's have this guy cut the line and play both ways over a fresh person who's a 4 or 5 star recruit? I don't know.
I'll tell you, Dane, going forward, though, if like you mentioned, like the level below Ohio State, Georgia, and whatnot, if you're Colorado's a great call, Nebraska, if you're somebody like that, I would use that to my advantage in recruiting. If I see a kid who is cocky enough, and and has the talent to say, hey, you know what? I'll let you play both ways. You see Travis Hunter, you'll be our Travis Hunter. And we will pimp you that way. We'll do it that way. And we will let you play both ways, offense and defense. I think you're going to see more and more of it at like the non-elite level.
Yeah.
Use it as a way to recruit somebody. And say, like, look, I know you like Ohio State or I know you like Georgia. They're not going to let you play both positions. We will let you play. You'll be our wide receiver one and our defensive back one.
It's a good idea.
We'll do it.
Yep.
All right, coming up next, some major shakeups in the college football coaching world. We'll discuss that next. This is Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
We're known for three things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
We're back on the Nada Yada Island Confessions Show. Benny is about to tell us how he found two loves. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks to Metro, I found iPhone 12 and Apple Watch SE.
At Metro, get the perfect match of both iPhone 12 with 5G and Apple Watch SE for only $99.99. You heard that right. Both for just $99.99. Holidays with Nada Yada Yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile.
Bring your number and ID, sign up for Metro Flex Plus, and add a watch line. Not available if you're with T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days. Limit 2 per account.
Year-end pricing. New Kias under $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
$5? You see, Max, the holidays drive everyone crazy. Especially Great Lakes Kia.
Hi, mister. Did you hear? Year-end pricing.
Thanks, kid, but my credit's in the doghouse. No offense, Max.
If you've got a job, you ride.
A job, eh? Go on.
Lease new Kia K4, K5, and Sorrentos. All three under $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
That's only $149 a month for 24 months.
New 25 Kia K5 LXS, K4 LXS, and Sorrento LX. Standard with third row seating. All three under $5 a day. Save thousands.
Thousands?
And we have 0% financing.
I'm warm. I'm tingly. I can't take it.
You're happy.
New Kias under $5 a day.
During the season of New Tradition sales event.
Great cars.
Great people. Great Lakes Kia.
In Columbus.
GreatLakesKia.com.
To qualified buyers, visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Is your business generating over $1 million a year in revenue? If your financial advisory team isn't keeping pace, maybe it's time for a change. Here's Brad Hennebert with Premier Advisors.
Thanks, Bobby. Our team integrates financial planning and asset management with business accounting and tax preparation. Business owners have planning needs that are unique. We work with you to design a seamless financial services bundle tailored to your business with monthly or quarterly advisory consultations to help guide you along the way. We don't just keep score of what happened last year. Our team combines expert financial planning and wealth management with top-tier tax services, helping businesses like yours build wealth for you. Call us today at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Brad Hennebert is a registered representative offering securities through United Planners Financial Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through TCP Asset Management LLC. Tax services offered through Premier Tax CPAs. United Planners is not affiliated with TCP Asset Management, Premier Advisors, or Premier Tax CPAs.
Pizza lovers, listen up. We're not that cheesy, but this deal is. For a limited time at Speedway, get 2 big pizza slices and your favorite Coca-Cola 20-ounce for only $5 with Speedy Rewards. And you know we got even more, like flavors galore. Okay, maybe we are a little cheesy. Choose between classic 3-cheese, crispy pepperoni, or extreme meat pizza. Save big on 2 pizza slices and your favorite Coca-Cola 20-ounce. Get the $5 meal deal with Speedy Rewards. Only at Speedway. Valid through 1/7/25. See app for full terms.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
Bring the thrill of the stadium to your wallet with the Love My Crew checking account from Pathways, the only checking account that rewards you for being a Crew fan. Pathways Financial Credit Union, your true financial partner. Federally insured by NCUA.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and a multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine. it. My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Van Scoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Martha was ready to switch to a career in IT.
There's always a need for IT specialists, especially with AI coming out and cybersecurity. It's practically recession-proof.
My Computer Career even provides job placement help.
The career specialists, they're very helpful. They care about you as a person. You're not just a number to them. I would recommend My Computer Career wholeheartedly to anyone.
Take the free career evaluation today. Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. Not available in Washington State.
Visit McAfee.com/online protection to get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 your first year. That's McAfee.com/online protection.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Scattered showers for us this afternoon, otherwise expected to be cloudy to mostly cloudy and breezy as our temperatures jump up into the mid to upper 40s. Tonight, a mild evening as lows do not go down that much as we are into the mid 40s. But for Monday, we kick off the work week with rain developing in the morning. Could have some heavy downpours at times. It'll be breezy yet again with daytime highs climbing into the mid to upper 50s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo.
Matty Ice is currently bathing himself in creamy jalapeno dip. And I've officially run out of ways to tease this show. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan. Garnish your Bloody Mary with sports talk. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Fan Sports Sunday, thanks for tuning in. Join the YouTube chat, by the way, if you want to join the 97.1 The Fan live stream. Love to communicate with you there. Get your opinions on things regarding the stuff we talk about, Ohio State football, Ohio State basketball, the NFL, everything else. Tito and Dane with you. Came back there running things. This week, we had an interesting development, Dane, when Bill Belichick decided to join the college ranks as a head coach, taking over at UNC. And he had talked prior to that on the McAfee show about if is what he said, capital if. I took a job at the college. If I was setting up a college program, this is how I do it. He talked a lot about, really, it's a lot of things Ohio State already does as far as getting players ready for the NFL, nutrition, facilities, all these different things. And now he takes the job. He's going to bring his son Steven with him from Washington, who was on the staff there. And the belief is that there is a plan in place that when Belichick does end up stopping coaching at North Carolina, that Steven will take over. Interesting about this, though, Dane, is that right now, if an NFL team wanted to hire Bill Belichick, the buyout is $10 million. So right now it'd be $10 million. If a team says, I want Bill Belichick, we're going to hire him, they've got to pay $10 million. There's a $10 million buyout. On, I think it's June 25th or June 30th, somewhere in there, the buyout drops to $1 million. Mm-hmm. So before he even coaches a game for North Carolina, the buyout drops to $1 million. That, to me, feels like kind of a safe landing spot for Belichick if an NFL team does end up coming to call him.
You think that's why that's there?
I do. I think it's totally. Yeah. I think it's totally what it is. I don't think an NFL team will. I think that if he thought an NFL team was going to hire him, he wouldn't have taken this job. But I think the fact that that is there, that gives him a realistic, like if all of a sudden he's like, you know what, the Jets offered me the job, which he wouldn't go to the Jets, whatever. Any NFL team offers him a job. It's only a $1 million buyout before he ever coaches a game. That part is interesting to me.
Yeah. That's an interesting way that you put it. Honestly, I naively thought like, well, maybe he's just going to try it out. And if he's like, man, this sucks, he just gives himself a way out. Sure. Because the chatter going into this hire, and especially from his side, it was like that he was fed up with the NFL, that he didn't want to be there. Maybe that's just saying like, oh, I haven't got a job or a look.
I don't think the NFL wants him. That's what it is, yeah.
Right, but the way he's talked, it was like, it's interesting to leave something out there that you could potentially leave to go back to the NFL when he's laying out this grand plan. I think more interesting in this whole situation is North Carolina's side of it. Because, I mean, North Carolina, they have a lot of and what they laid at his feet for this deal to get done. It's incredible. And if Bill Belichick does follow through and coaches at North Carolina, I think it will be one of the most interesting stories of the year, because I think you're going to have a lot of other schools and coaches watching how they're going to do it. Because what they laid out, Pete Thamel wrote a great article on ESPN, and it's a really interesting read if anybody out there wants to read it, just about this transition and what the plan was and the resources that North Carolina made available to Bill Belichick. They essentially said, okay, this is a professional team. Here's what we're going to lay out for you. Right. Build it as you would. And once that happens, and it's already starting to happen in college, but once that happens, that kind of sets the trend for how it's going to be done, how it's going to be managed. Because right now you've had a bunch of college coaches trying to figure it out. A professional coach like that with all that experience and with a lot of money to deal with. Right. Really interesting. It would be really, really interesting to watch how that year plays out, and then what I guess is picked off from this plan at other universities, and use this as the new roadmap of building a team in the college landscape we have now.
It further expands my thought that, look, college football is nothing more than minor league football. It's a feeder program. Well,
look, I highlighted this because it's a really, like, one of the first paragraphs in the article. This is how he put it. And it's sad. Let's just, like, put aside, I know how you feel about it, sure. and I feel the same way. And there's a ton of fans out there that this transition is like, it's a bummer, dude. Like, we didn't want this, but it is what it is. So this is where we are. But here's how we put it. College football in 2025 is simply professional football that's adjacent to a university, awash with nostalgia, and backed by a soundtrack from a band and a fight song.
That's it.
He's right. He's right. That's the reality. It stinks. Like, that's not, I don't feel like, but the thing is, they didn't ask the fans' opinion. It's not like they went out and said, hey, do you guys care if we go ahead and do this? Because the answer would have been no. It's just the route they went, and we react to it. But with that mindset, they went and handed, you read some of these numbers that they offered him?
Oh, yeah. Dude, it's insane.
It's insane. Look at, so they said, okay, you can go and hire a general manager for
Lombardi.
We'll give you $1.5 million to do it.
Mike Lombardi.
A support staff for $5.3 million. A $1 million for strength and conditioning coach. This is in addition to your own $10 million salary. None of that includes the $10 million for assistant coaches. Sure. That's not just support staff, assistant coaches. And of the $20 million the university is allowed to allocate through the new, like, we can pay players, he has access to $13 million to dole out to players. So you can't even squint and call that college football.
It's not. And by the way, look, it's no longer. So when I'm growing up, and when you're growing up, there were, 60-year-old people at that time that would go to the games, wear the sweater, wave the pennant, and all that stuff. This is my school. This is what I associate with. And they get it. It's not like that anymore.
But the thing is, that's what I know. I agree. It's where we're at. Yeah. But that was the great part of it. That's what made college football college football. That's why this is going to be so interesting to see. That was the product.
Dude, it was like the Matrix, though. Once you get that thing on your head, you forget everything about that, and you look at the reality of it. And it's all money. It's all money. So you can be a 70-year-old guy out there, like, I've been coming here to games for 50 years, homecoming, and rah, and wear the silly hat with the sweater, all that stuff you can do. It's not that way anymore.
I know.
It is not. This is minor league football, and that's all it is.
I don't even know if it's minor.
Well,
I think it's just a different type of league. It's getting name me a minor league, any sport that has the kind of ratings and money that this has.
You're right. And that's why they keep doing things like this, because they know that no matter what, you and I are going to take that needle and put it right in our arm, and we're going to watch all 4 college football playoff games this year, regardless.
Which are awesome.
They're awesome.
That's the thing. Is
we're
going to watch it. But this product's coming up this month is amazing.
Yeah.
So but that's why I think if this Belichick thing does come to fruition, he stays there for the year. it will be one of the most interesting stories of the college football season, just to see what happens next year.
It's a 5-year contract. You're an idiot if you think it's a 5-year contract, because 3 years are guaranteed. They do a 5-year contract, so he's out there recruiting, can say, look, I'm not going anywhere. I've got a 5-year deal. You don't. You've got a 3-year guaranteed deal is what you've got. Do you think that Belichick, and this was like a fan poll question we had on Thursday, do you think at the end of it, whatever his tenure is at North Carolina, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, the tenure at North Carolina, do you think you look back on it and say it was very successful, it was underwhelming, it was a huge disappointment and mistake?
That's a great question. My gut feeling is that he wouldn't have a ton of success, even with the experience. That's just my gut.
Okay, then what's success also? Let me ask you that. What, for you, what would be a successful tenure for Bill Belichick at North Carolina?
Oh, I think success there would just be bringing that program into like national relevancy in football.
Okay.
Being a part of the playoff conversation on an annual basis, and then making a run 1 or 2 of those years. Maybe one of those years of the 5. If you make a run deep, if any one of those years he ends up in the national championship game, huge success.
I think if he goes to the playoff, it's success.
If he goes to the playoff, it's
If he goes to the playoff, if he won the 12 or 14, whatever it is, all said and done, if he goes to one of those, I think that's successful.
I would agree.
Based on North Carolina and where they're at. Now, the ACC is not the big 2. It's the next 2, which is what I think we should call it going forward now. Now, we have Power 4, but let's go Big 2 and next 2. North Carolina's in the next 2 in that conference goes, where you've got inconsistent Miami team, Clemson, SMU, whatever you want to put in there. But it is attainable in that conference to compete for the conference championship, which then would get you a berth into the CFP.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if he never makes the playoffs, it's a failure. I think if he does make the playoffs, then North Carolina football then would be in a great spot at that point. I think they'd be happy with that if that happened.
Yeah, I agree. I think making it into the playoff, but in general, so that's I think, especially, and we don't know how this thing's going to change next year, but with the 12-team playoff, just assuming that this is the model moving forward, it won't be, but for the sake of this, if you made it in the playoff, regardless of where you're at, that's a successful year.
Sure.
Like it is hard to get in that top 12 field, especially how they have it built. So especially if a program like North Carolina or, Boise State, Arizona State, regardless of how you got there, you had a heck of a year, because anymore, like this is the new world of college football. Right now is the most exciting time of the year. Right now, and it didn't always used to be that, but in 2024 and moving forward, this playoff is now what is like going to have people glued to the TVs, and this first year of it seems to have some awesome matchups. Yep. And so, I think if Belichick can make his team part of that conversation year after year, or even most of the 5 years, I think that's a success.
We're back in 2 minutes. We set off a firestorm this week with one simple question. Details next. This is Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
The holidays are happening at Diamonds Direct. Still rushing to finish your holiday shopping? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Now through Sunday, it's our last chance sale with 20% off virtually everything. Earrings, bracelets, pendants, and more. Plus special financing options up to 5 years. But don't wait. This is your final opportunity to find the perfect gift at the best value before the holidays. Plus special designer appearances. Visit us during extended holiday hours or shop online and pick up in store. Our 20% off last chance sale ends Sunday. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
'Tis the season to be hungry at Roosters. That's why for every $50 spent on Roosters gift cards, you'll receive a $10 Rooster Buck back in your stocking. May your holidays be filled with friends and family, love and laughter, and of course, Roosters Wings. Go to roosterswings.com today or drop by any Roosters location to purchase your $50 holiday gift cards and receive a $10 Rooster Buck in return. Happy holidays from all of us at Roosters. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron, did you know I invented one of the most important things in the whole toilet industry?
You did? What was it?
I invented jiggling the handle.
You did that? Doesn't everybody just...
Think back to the first time you jiggled the handle on a toilet that wouldn't stop running. It was because somebody shouted, "Jiggle the handle."
I guess now that I think about it.
Well, that person was told by somebody, and that somebody was told by somebody, and it all traces back to me.
Get Eco.
So, as oppressive as that is, Jerry, people could just get Eco to come and fix their toilet so it doesn't run on.
That would also work, I guess.
Get Eco.
ECO. And once we fix it, it's fixed. You don't have to jiggle the handle next time.
No, you're right. That is better.
Although we should keep passing your wisdom along, in case it happens at somebody else's house.
Thanks, Aaron.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
If you don't like listening to Morning Juice, Bobby Carpenter's man nipples will punch you in the face. For real.
You want to fight, do you? Weekdays from 6 to 9.
The Fan. Live, local, and still slightly drunk.
I'm not drunk, all right? I just have a speech impediment.
This is Fan Sports Sunday.
Fan Sports Sunday. Thank you for tuning in. By the way, chime in on the YouTube chat. We would love to hear from you there. Earlier this week on Morning Juice, Bobby set it up. We have Ross Bjork on Morning Juice on Thursday. Now, I asked him a question about Ryan Day. And basically the way I phrased it was, Dane, I just said, look, how confident are you that regardless of the CFP result, regardless of what happens in the CFP, how confident are you that Ryan Day is on the sidelines coaching this team on August 30th when Ohio State plays Texas? Here's what Ross Bjork had to say.
Coach Day and I have just hit it off so well. I've been really, really impressed. Every single time I talk to him, I learn something. He's innovative. He recruits at the highest level. He's got a great staff. There's always tweaks. There was tweaks after last year, right? You're always going to tweak things. You're always going to make adjustments. You're always going to make improvements. If you get fixated on the end result and not have the process fully baked every time, you're going to lose. The mindset's going to lose because you're only fixated on one thing. And so what we have to do is this whole championship or bust sort of mentality. You want that as a goal, but it has to be about the process. To me, we've got to maybe change some conversations a little bit. I think we need to maybe just approach things a little bit differently. But Coach Day is awesome. He's great to work with. He totally gets it. He loves being a Buckeye. And so we're going to support him at the highest level.
So, Dane, by the way, I preface that, I'll say this, again, total transparency. I said at the beginning of it, I said, look, I'm a Ryan Day guy. I believe in Ryan Day. Then I asked the question of Bjork. I know going in, there's no way Bjork's going to say, I knew this. Bjork's not going to say, well, if we lose Tennessee, we might make a change. He's not going to say that on the air. He's not going to say, well, yeah, I like Ryan Day, but, man, I tell you, we may have to look elsewhere. He's not going to say that. But I know he gave the vote of confidence to Ryan Day after the Michigan loss. And he said that. He said, he's my guy. And I just wanted to hear him say it again. Now we're a couple weeks out. Now you're beyond the emotional reaction to the Michigan game. I agree, Buckeye fans. Listen, I hate losing to Michigan 4 years in a row. And what I've said, Dane, all along is that give me somebody realistically who you think will come in and be better. You have to be very confidently better than what Ryan Day's done. Ohio State, you mentioned last segment, going to the playoff is successful, right? Okay. Ohio State's 10-2, lost to Michigan. Sucks. In the playoff, though, 10-2, Michigan 7-5, playing in the Blue Bonnet Bowl, whatever, against Alabama. Whatever it's going to be, I don't even know. Guys are opting out for both sides and transferring, whatever. I would much rather be in Ohio State's shoes right now. Yes, I want to beat Michigan every year. Yes, I do. But I also want to be in the playoff every year. And Ryan Day, 4 times in 6 years, has done that.
How many wins does he have in the playoffs?
What's he got? 1, maybe? Is it 1? Is that what it is?
One win, and then that really close try against Georgia which
we know he got screwed on that one. Yes. Okay, but fine. I'd much rather be in than out.
Yeah, you're right. You're spot on, Tito. Yeah, you all of that, and this is going to be part of that. I think what was really interesting, and that's the first time I've no offense, I try to listen to all your content, Tito. I don't miss a Tito interview.
I text you all the time.
Yeah, but that was the first time I heard it live, and it sounded. I think what he's saying is spot on for a modern college football program. You're absolutely right on the side. There's no way he wasn't going to say he was behind Coach Day.
Yep.
And even though, and you've seen countless times ADs say that, and then they're gone within 2 weeks, the coach that they were behind. But in this sense, I mean, I think what he's saying is spot on in the fact that we're building this thing for national championships. Mm-hmm. That's where our eyes are. I think, as a fan base, and obviously me, I mean, I'm a former player that grew, I mean, I played in that,
right,
a different world of college football where that was the thing, and I totally get the emotion with that, but I think you would what they're building on now with this idea of making a playoff run, we have this grand thing in mind.
Right.
I think in his mind, Trump's one loss or four losses.
4 losses, but whatever, yes.
To Michigan, because when you have that machine in order, okay, when that machine is built, it's a harder machine to build, okay? The one that's going to consistently be a national contender. Then when you start beating Michigan with that machine built, well, now you're at the peak. Now you're at the top of the mountain. And I think this program is so close, and this program has been so successful that it's just like, yes, we the season starting now, getting to play Tennessee and making a run right now at a national championship is a world that's never existed beyond a Michigan loss, but it exists this year. And so that's what Ross Bjork and those guys in the athletic department are trying to figure out this transition. But I think what he described there, I think his head is in the right place. But I'm totally with you on all of it. It's a weird place to be emotionally because that game means so much to so many of us.
Yes, it does. And it still means a lot to me. But, and this has been an argument all along, Dane, is that when I was growing up, okay, we're talking like mid to late 70s, the pinnacle, even in the 80s, the pinnacle for a Big Ten football team and for Ohio State was make the Rose Bowl, right? Win the Rose Bowl. That was your pinnacle. You couldn't think national championships. There's so many things you couldn't control.
Mm-hmm.
So the pinnacle, the best season you could have is win the Rose Bowl. Now, to get to the Rose Bowl, you usually had to beat Michigan. That's what it was. So the game meant a lot. Even before that, before I was following it, only one Big Ten team went to a bowl game. Yeah. So if you want to go to a bowl game, you got to beat Michigan because that's who it was. Now, you don't have to beat Michigan to win the national championship anymore. You don't have to. It still means a lot for me emotionally, more so for you being in the game, but also for me as a kid for 47 years watching this rivalry. I'm 53, I was 6. Okay, whatever, do the math. But it still means a lot to me, but it does not define the season. When I look at Ryan Day and the situation there, if you're a new restaurant company and you've got 5 franchises, okay, and you've got somebody in charge of running those 5 franchises, and you've got a couple of bad years, you might make the knee-jerk decision to, hey, I got to make a change. New person in charge of it. If you have grown to 100 locations, you've got to be more careful about making that decision because all of a sudden now your decision is going to affect so much more than it did when you had 5 locations. That's why with Ohio State. If you decide to get rid of Ryan Day right now, the ripple effect of that, it could affect the players that are on our roster right now, the coaching staff, these recruits coming in, and the millions of dollars being spent on this franchise. There's a lot more to it now. You've got to be more careful in that decision. Oklahoma hired Gary Gibbs at one point. Alabama hired Mike Shula. Notre Dame hired Charlie Weiss. Michigan hired Rich Rodriguez and Brady Hoke. Those decisions cause huge ripple effects that hurt those franchises. I love the fact that Ohio State, forever, since 1951 hiring Woody Hayes, has been patient.
You hit the nail on the head. I did a show with Timmy Hall and Tyvis, and they roasted me for essentially making that point because what you're saying is it's the true reality. If you're saying we know what the Michigan game means to us, right? Yeah, we know, and you don't have to tell me, man. Like, dude,
you bled. You don't have to tell on that field.
So people in the chat that get mad at me, you don't have to tell me. I put it on the line for it. But in this world, it's like you're getting rid of Ryan Day for losing a game that did not affect it did not change the trajectory of the season.
Sure.
In fact, it might have made our road to a national championship easier.
I agree.
So I don't know how you justify that. And if you're Ross Bjork coming in, hearing like, are you going to fire Coach Day? In his mind, he's probably saying, based on what? You know, like
he's 66-10.
I'll just say this. In this, whether we like the setup now, the setup has moved to a point where there's less importance on rivalry games.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that just as we've talked about it before. And in the setup now, Ohio State is winning. In today's college football, Ohio State is winning. What they've built there, what Coach Day has built there, what the athletic department has built. We might not like it. It doesn't feel or look like. It's not the game I played in, okay?
Sure.
For free getting out there beat up, Tito.
Yeah, I know you didn't get paid.
For free.
Right.
I was doing it for the love of the game, so don't come at me that I don't care about the Michigan game.
In this team, if they did win the game a couple weeks ago.
Sure. Well, yeah. I mean, because they should have won that game. They're a better team than Michigan. But I'm just saying, in the old, yes, what you said, if you get rid of Ryan Day, you've shook up the whole thing that you've built, and starting over in a situation where Ohio State is a premier program in college football right now. Respected, has a great roster, is getting in the rhythm of how we continually build this thing. It might not be what we like as old school fans.
They haven't won
I don't know why you shake that.
Did you say they haven't won anything? Is that what you said?
They haven't won anything.
That's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
This 2021 recruiting class has not won anything in 4 years.
Right now, this team is one of the top 4 talent-wise in the country. They still could win.
Expensive rosters.
They still could win the national championship. Okay, I like their chances. They beat Tennessee to get past Oregon. I think they're better than Oregon. I think this town would go nuts if Ohio State made a change. Let's say he did do the knee-jerk thing. You know what? Let's do this. We'll talk about that next. We will get into what would happen if they did make a change. We'll do that next right here, Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Billiards Plus has the area's best selection of pool tables, shuffleboard tables, poker tables, and more. Select tables are still in stock, so hurry before they run out. Find stocking stuffers galore with darts, cues, and more game room goodies. Shop Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Some things in life are meant for each other, like salt and pepper, bacon and mushrooms, or you and the all-new Wendy's Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, does bacon go with mushrooms? And the answer is, they do now. So if you want crispy, crunchy, cheesy, juicy, shroomy, and garlic spready, then you and the Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger are meant to be. For mushroomy, bacony goodness, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Ready to hit the road in a new car? With Pathways, enjoy up to 90 days with no payments and low auto loan rates. Learn more at pathwayscu.com. Pathways Financial Credit Union, your true financial partner. Federally insured by NCUA.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to hims.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
Welcome to Nada Yada. I
Island. We're back on the Nada Yada Island Confessions Show. Benny is about to tell us how he found two loves. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks to Metro, I found iPhone 12 and Apple Watch SE.
At Metro, get the perfect match of both iPhone 12 with 5G and Apple Watch SE for only $99.99. You heard that right. Both for just $99.99. Holidays with Nada Yada Yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile.
Bring your number and ID, sign up for Metro Flex Plus, and add a watch line. Not available if you're with T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days. Limit 2 per account.
Hear those leaves crunching under your feet? Feel that cool nighttime air? It's definitely fall in Ohio. Fall is the perfect time to have the Waterworks inspect and tune up your furnace before the cold winter months hit. To inspect and protect your family against those wintertime furnace breakdowns, call 614-232-2222. Or visit thewaterworks.com today to schedule your fall furnace inspection and tune-up. Winter is just days away.
'Tis the season to be hungry at Roosters. That's why for every $50 spent on Roosters gift cards, you'll receive a $10 Rooster Buck back in your stocking. May your holidays be filled with friends and family, love and laughter, and of course, Roosters Wings. Go to roosterswings.com today or drop by any Roosters location to purchase your $50 holiday gift cards and receive a $10 Rooster Buck in return. Happy holidays from all of us at Roosters. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
What's your favorite way to spend time? With family, friends, grabbing some alone time because you need a little space from your family and friends? One thing's for sure, it's not an unexpected stay in a hospital. Unfortunately, last year, flu and COVID hospitalized 1.3 million adults, and nearly 1 million of them were 65 or older. So get your updated vaccines, and don't let flu or COVID interrupt your life. Risk less, do more. Get started at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky's Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Fan Sports Sunday. Thanks so much for tuning in. I love the chat, too, we have going on here. I'm sitting here right now with Dane Sanzenbacher, also Cam back there running things, and we're talking about this Ohio State situation as far as coaching goes. I did get somebody reach out to me on Twitter, Dane, and by the way, I'll get some of the stuff on the chat as well. What do you think happens if Michigan makes the playoffs with their new quarterback and beats Ohio State twice? Is that a tipping point for Ryan Day? I would say, Dane, at that point, it depends on what Ohio State does in the playoff. Like,
we're talking about in a theoretical next year.
Theoretical next 2 years. Next 2 years, Michigan's got the new quarterback coming in, their $12 million guy, whatever. And let's say they beat Ohio State with Bryce Underwood. They beat Ohio State twice in a row and goes to the playoffs. Does that change it? And I just said it depends what Ohio State does.
What do you mean twice in a row, though? In the same year?
No, like beats them next year and the year after that. Like the 2 years, like 25 and 26.
Oh, good grief. I mean,
it depends what Ohio State does.
We could be so upside down in a different world of college football.
Right.
It depends, and you're absolutely right. It depends on what the overall work of the year is. Did they make a run? You know, what happens in the playoff? How deep are we?
Yes, exactly. That's a huge, and that's because that's more important now. That is more important than anything else right now. It's winning, getting the playoff, and winning the national championship. That's realistically a goal every year.
It's like if, never mind. That just gets you in trouble. Just know that we understand the Ohio State Michigan intensity.
Yes.
We get it. Yeah. But we also need to fit it into what is the big picture that you're trying to accomplish here. As this goes more towards pro football, it's more and more about the playoff and winning Super Bowls or national championships. They hang banners for national championships. The goal is to win as many of those as possible. So, yeah, in a couple years, you would look at the whole body of work. What have we done to get towards that goal? Because that's the goal that's set by the athletic department, and that's what this team is built to do. So, yeah, the pressure would definitely be, it's going to be there until the monkey gets off your back.
I see the names people throw out there on Twitter and in the chat. Vrabel's not coaching college, okay? Urban, not coming back, okay? Tressel, not coming back. Somebody mentioned Cignetti. Cignetti's not even Indiana. By the way, Kurt Cignetti just had the best year he's ever going to have in Indiana. Indiana will never be this good again. Never be this good again. People said, Saban, shut up. Like, and by the way, Eddie George isn't ready for this job, and neither is Brian Hartline. What? And I love Brian Hartline. He's not ready to be a head coach at this level.
Do you guys not think other people could go 10-2 with the resources and talent at OSU?
Maybe. I'll Cam, honestly, maybe. But I'm not confident. I'm not confident anybody you bring in right now will do a better job than Ryan Day has done, going 66-10, playoffs 4 of 6 years.
He has one playoff win, his best win.
I understand that
team in 2020.
Okay, then tell me somebody who you believe. You are very confident. I hire this guy. He goes better than 66-10.
I mean, you empty out. You have a blank check, but it's probably not going to work. But
okay, so what would be good enough for you, Cam? 66-10 is not. How about 68-8? Would that be good enough to keep him? What do we have to go? What do we got to go? 70-4? How many games? What satisfies? And I'm just letting Cam be the
differences in the biggest games where it's like on like, or the competition is close, and it seems like the play calling and the team just plays tight. I feel like he coaches tight. We've seen it in Michigan games. We've seen it in the Georgia game, the last drive when you're at the 29 and there's 30 seconds left and you don't move the ball at all and you settle for a 50-yard field goal. We've seen it. I just feel like we've seen it multiple times, and so I just don't have as much confidence as other people with the same coaching staff just running it back, thinking it's going to be different than what we've seen previously.
Those are fair gripes, right? And that's what we're here to critique. If you go into the Michigan game with this game plan, you don't adjust, okay, we're here for it. If you can't do this, or we think you can't handle late games, but if we're talking about firing a person, you no longer get to work here. You no longer, we're going to change it all up. You got to have a basis for that. And we're having this conversation, and the fan has, and the fan base is about to host the first round of a playoff game.
Right.
We are hosting a first round of a playoff game here this coming week, and we spend time talking about firing our head coach. Now, you can have gripes about play calling, but that's I think what Ross Bjork is saying about the mindset needs to change, because I get being mad about the Michigan game. Sure. But you have your program, and we're not sitting here. If we're having this conversation because we went 5-5 and we're going into a meaningless bowl, right? By all means, the biggest part of our season is about to happen. The biggest part. Yeah. This is the biggest game of the year. This Tennessee game, without question. On the eve or on the week of the biggest game of the year, we spend now 2 segments talking about firing your head coach. That's the disconnect. That's something that needs to get. We understand the emotion of it, and maybe this is just part of a changing landscape, but there is life beyond that Michigan game in today's schedule.
So just change the standards and expectations. That's what it sounds like Ross Burke's clip was about, was changing the expectations and standards.
Sure. It's not Ohio State's fault that this is where college football is, but maybe they have something to blame for it, but this is where it is. And the new expectation, everything in college football is built for this playoff. It is built for this playoff. So the most important part of the year is right now. So I don't get, you can have critiques about the year, but what are we going to have conversations about firing Coach Day up to game time of the Tennessee game?
Right.
Wait, what is that? I'm just baffled by that. I'm sure the YouTube chat will let me know because he's lost to Michigan, but the dude's done nothing but win a zillion other games. And how many of his guys get in trouble? You know, the only time Ohio State's got in trouble is because you get so riled up by this Michigan game that they're getting maced after the game. That's the one time. He's run a clean program, a program that people can be proud of. I get the emotion of it, but the dude's won a bunch, and we've got the biggest part of our year coming up.
He's beaten James Franklin 8 times. I mean,
do we have to list 66 of the names, Cam? We've had 3 top 5 games this year. 2 of them lost 1 by 1. What did you want better out of this year?
And Indiana, which you just said, Kirk Cignetti, this is the best season he's ever.
What does that have to do with
James
anything?
Franklin again, who you could say is a little bit lesser Ryan Day, who doesn't win the big game.
So were they top 5 matchups?
Yes, at that time.
Okay. So 3 top 5 matchups, lost 1 of them by 1 point
on the road.
On the road. What's and could have won it? What more do you want?
Biggest win in Oregon history.
What more do you want? And hosting a playoff game.
This team had goals of a Big Ten title, getting to Indy, beating Michigan.
Big Ten titles mean less and less also in this landscape.
They missed out on 2 of those 3. Yes, the big one is still up there for grabs. It's just I have no confidence if they couldn't do the first 2, which seemed way more easy or way more achievable than winning a title, than getting the last goal.
Ryan Day is your head coach, okay? Now, let's just accept that Ryan Day is the head coach. Tell me how many college football programs you think are in better shape than Ohio State's right now with Ryan Day as head coach. Because now, keep in mind,
Texas, Oregon.
Okay, Georgia, Texas, Oregon. Alabama missed the playoffs this year, right? 3 losses, Alabama misses the playoff. Michigan beat Ohio State, yes. Playing whatever, they're playing Alabama in some meaningless bowl game. So you've got three teams you just mentioned that you think are better than where Ohio State's at with Ryan Day. You're going to fire Ryan Day because he's 4th among all of college football in this landscape? I'm not doing it. You want to be number 1, you're not getting Sarkisian, you're not getting Kirby Smart, you're not getting Dan Lanning. Ohio State's program is good. They're top 4. I can't think of anybody else. Look, the 3 you mentioned, I got it. Yeah. I'd rather be Ohio State than every other school other than those 3. Oregon's got Nike money with Phil Knight. They're offering players to come out and he'll make a shoe for them, a signature shoe. That's great. I'm glad Oregon's doing that. Oregon going to the Big Ten, love it. Love it. Really do. I'm just saying that you are pissed off. I'm not saying you, Cam. I'm saying Ohio State fans that are angry about this. You're pissed off because Ohio State is the 4th best school in the country setting up going forward.
And when they play those other 3 programs, it hasn't really been close.
Okay. Well, wait. When they play Oregon, was it close? It was 1 point on the road, Cam.
Oregon was close, yeah.
When's the last time they played Georgia?
It was close.
What was it?
Until the very
I'm saying it's not close.
What was this? What was the difference?
Say it was close, but then
and we haven't played Texas.
Like there's things in
we haven't played Texas. So two of the top 3 that you just listed that were better.
It was just a 1-point game. It wasn't.
It was a 1-point game on the road at Oregon in the biggest game Oregon's ever played. For them, I was there. The fans were weeping afterwards. It was like David had slayed Goliath.
And in both games, to be honest with you, by the metric of it's not just the scoreboard, Ohio State should have beat Oregon.
Sure,
and Ohio State played better than Georgia.
The thing that I think held us back was the head coach.
Ooh, that's a bad take. I don't know what it's.
The play calling at the end in the last minute against Georgia when you're on your own 30 and you run a draw play and then
that's fair.
You
know what? That's fair. The end of it was, yes.
And then you settle for a 50-yard field goal.
The end of it was. We had the targeting call against Harrison. It didn't happen.
Legit gripes.
Yes.
But that's not what we're talking about.
But I'm not saying, you're telling me you think that hiring somebody else is going to make that, going to get them to that level plus. And I'm not sure that person's out there. All right, come here.
I just don't know if anyone else. Never mind.
No, we love you, Cam. Coming next, we call up everything's happened and what will happen this weekend. We got an update from Cam coming up too on Sports Center. We'll do that next. Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. There's a lot of HVAC companies out there. I trust Care with my business, and I know you'll be satisfied customers. I am the most miserable person on earth. So if I'm satisfied, you know they must be doing something right. But don't take my word for it. Care has been named the 2024 winner of the Better Business Bureau Torch Award for Ethics. That's a polite way of saying they provide you with excellent product and service, and most importantly, they never screw you over. Here's another example. Lennox. They sell tons of product all over the country. They've awarded Care their Lennox 2024 Partner of the Year Award. Just bragging at this point. I suggested a new tagline for Care Heating and Cooling. Here it is. Obnoxiously efficient. They didn't like it, but I stand by it. Don't wait for your furnace to crap out this winter. Get on their Care plan and get your unit checked before the pipes freeze. And it costs you thousands of dollars and your wife swears at you. That's certainly never happened to me. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Year-end pricing. New Kias under $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
$5? You see, Max, the holidays drive everyone crazy. Especially Great Lakes Kia.
Hi, mister. Did you hear? Year-end pricing.
Thanks, kid, but my credit's in the doghouse. No offense, Max.
If you've got a job, you ride.
A job, eh? Go on.
Lease new Kia K4, K5, and Sorrentos. All 3 under $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
That's only $149 a month for 24 months.
New 25 Kia K5 LXS, K4 LXS, and Sorrento LX. Standard with 3rd row seating. All 3 under $5 a day. Save thousands.
Thousands?
And we have 0% financing.
I'm warm. I'm tingly. I can't take it.
You're happy.
New Kias under $5 a day.
During the season of New Tradition sales event.
Great cars.
Great people. Great Lakes Kia.
In Columbus.
GreatLakesKia.com.
To qualified buyers, visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Common Man here for Diamonds Direct. The last chance sale is this weekend, Friday through Sunday. Take 20% off virtually everything. Rings? Yes. Earrings? Yes. Pendants, bracelets, everything to make the holiday sparkle. This weekend, they're decking the halls with an expanded selection and top designer appearances in the store. 20% off everything, almost everything, Friday through Sunday. My wife sent me a text today and says, "We're going." And I said, "Fine, we're going." And we'll save 20%, plus special financing, in-store designer appearances. Did I say that already? All weekend, including Sunday. Diamonds Direct is the best jewelry store in the world. I've not been to Dubai, but I assume this is true. And if you don't believe me, go read the Google reviews from actual customers, not just the talking head on your radio. If you have a special occasion coming up or just want to finish your holiday shopping, you can't miss this weekend. Open all weekend. For the best selection, quality, and price, shop direct, Diamonds Direct. Get details at diamondsdirect.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan.
Good afternoon, I'm Cam Taylor. The OSU men's basketball team were blown out yesterday by number 2 ranked Auburn, 91-53 in Atlanta. They will play Valparaiso on Tuesday at 8 p.m. The number 11th ranked OSU women's basketball team took care of business yesterday against Youngstown State, winning 87-39. They will play on Tuesday at noon against Grand Valley State. The Columbus Blue Jackets lost 4-3 in overtime against the Anaheim Ducks last night. They are back on the ice today to face the Carolina Hurricanes at 5 p.m. The Fan will have coverage starting at 4:30. Colorado's Travis Hunter won the 2024 Heisman Trophy last night over Boise State's Ashton Jeanty, Oregon's Dalen Gabriel, and Miami of Florida's Cam Ward. Navy beat Army 31-13 behind the big game from Hilliard's own Blake Horvath. Cincinnati Bengals will take on the Tennessee Titans today at 1 p.m. The Cleveland Browns are hosting the Kansas City Chiefs today at 1 p.m. And the Pittsburgh Steelers will travel to Philly to face the Eagles at 4:25.
Sports Talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
It's Fan Sports Sunday. By the way, we can all disagree. I'm Tito. He's Dane. Cam back there. We love Cam. Cam and we had a very a colorful discussion with Cam about Ohio State football. Love that. And by the way, people on chat, you people on Twitter, honestly, nothing but love for all of you. I appreciate you chiming in. We can disagree. It's okay. We're going to put a bow on this, though. What I do want to ask people to do, though, is I want you to go back and look at other universities' coaching hires in the last 70 years. Okay? Because I'm talking about Ohio State now back in 1951 when they hired Woody Hayes. Here at Ohio State, we've had Woody, Earl, Cooper, Tress, Urban, the transfer year with Fickle, and then Ryan Day. No atrocious hires there. You can argue that Cooper, because of his 2-13-1 against 2-12-1, against 2-11-1 against Michigan. You can argue that. That's fine. John Cooper brought a new level of recruiting to Ohio State football. He expanded it more than anybody ever had before. I want you to look at Oklahoma, Gary Gibbs, Alabama, Mike Shula. Oklahoma, Howard Schnellenberger. Notre Dame hired a high school coach one time. Okay? Jerry Faust, great man. Coach Cincinnati Moeller. Notre Dame hired a high school coach with no college football coaching experience at all. Look at Nebraska. Look at Florida. Look at Florida State. Look at Michigan. Look at all these different schools, USC, UCLA. And I don't want to have that kind of hire. That's not a fear thing I'm saying. I don't want to set the program back that way. So we appreciate all the chat. Dane and I do. We read them all. We get it. We appreciate all of your comments on that, and we appreciate Cam's input as well on that. Ohio State men basketball, by the way, got blown out by Auburn 91-53. Hosts Valpo on Tuesday. The second tough loss for Ohio State by a blowout margin. I was excited about this game, Dane, seeing Ohio State play number 2 Auburn, and it was over before it got going.
Yeah, I only caught it when it was already over.
Right.
Tell me how we got to over. Did you catch it from the beginning?
I did. I watched it. That's the thing I put out there on Twitter that I was so excited to watch it, and then at halftime I took a picture of me at Giant Eagle.
Nah.
Like I had gone out
perfect time to go
do
to
something else, right? It's like that's not going to happen. So
yeah, no, I only caught they were already down 30 by the time I tuned in. So I was like, at that point, you can't really judge a game,
right?
But yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, it was bad. The problem is that I had such high expectations for this team this year, and they've beaten the teams they're supposed to beat. But the Maryland lost, and this Auburn lost, and they had a great game against Rutgers in between when they beat Rutgers by 14 here in Columbus, and that was great. But to have those kind of losses, that hurts. They miss Aaron Bradshaw, who is now back practicing with the team, but not sure when he's going to play next. They play Valpo Tuesday. OSU women rolled Youngstown State 87-39. We'll have Kevin McGuff on at 1:30 to talk about the women's basketball team. By the way, Cody McMahon had 16 points in the first quarter of that game. I extrapolated that out, Dane, 16 times 4 would actually be 64. If she stayed on that pace, she'd score 64 points, which would break the record. Ohio State's all-time single-game scoring leader. Kelsey Mitchell had 48 in a game, but they took the foot off the gas. Cody ended up at 29 in that game. Ohio State plays Grand Valley State at noon on Tuesday. Travis Hunter won the Heisman. The CBJ lost 4-3 in overtime against Anaheim. The Jackets have lost 6-7 there in Carolina today. You can catch that right here on The Fan. Navy got a big game from Hilliard's Blake Horvath. They beat Army 31-13. Browns Chiefs, by the way, they're on at 1 o'clock on ESPN 1460 because we got the Jackets coverage later on today, so you'll catch the Browns on the AM side. Michigan quarterback Alex Orji is transferring. Not surprised by that. Michigan's going to lose more people. They'll still talk trash about the Ohio State game, but they will lose Alex Orji, one of, I think, like 5 quarterbacks that played this year for Michigan. Lots of good games in the NFL today, Dane. Now, the Browns-Chiefs game, look, the Browns play teams close. The Chiefs also play teams close. That could be interesting to watch that. But other than that, though, there's still a lot of good games on the schedule today. The 1 o'clock slate, not that great, other than Kansas City, Cleveland. That's a decent one. But at 4:25, we've got Buffalo at Detroit and Pittsburgh at Philadelphia. A couple of good games there. Buffalo 10-3, Detroit 12-1. Since 1970, this is like the 5th best game as far as combined winning percentage of teams to play Week 15 or later, Buffalo and Detroit. I would love to see these two teams play in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's the matchup I hear most often with people's like dream Super Bowl matchup. I think it'd be so fun with those two fan bases.
Yeah.
To finally make a run. It'll be an interesting one this afternoon, too.
Buffalo's 0-4 in the Super Bowl. Obviously, that's the 4 straight they had, and Detroit's never been there. So
they're getting close. They're knocking on the door.
They are. Look, Detroit's staring at home field advantage, and that's a huge home field advantage for them if they get to play there at home in that one. You know, that place is that when the Lions are good, that place rocks.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is a when they're bad, it is deathly quiet.
Yes. Yeah.
when they're bad, it's a library. When they're good, yeah, that's really fun, and it's been fun to watch them get good. I mean, I'm a Northwest Ohio guy, man. I mean, like where's close to Detroit? It's a mash of Detroit, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, all those.
But Detroit's your NFC team, Northwest Ohio guy, right? Like for you, Detroit, if you had a root for an NFC team, that'd be them, right?
That's the default, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe me personally, I have history with other NFC divisional teams.
Which ones?
You know, I played in Chicago, Tito.
You played in Chicago. I realized that.
Good
yes.
Governor, will you?
I know. I knew you played Chicago. We had this conversation. I know you played Chicago. But wait, they ended up getting rid of you. I think you'd like Detroit more because they got rid of you.
No, it's tough to be a big NFL fan once you've like worked for them because you're just like, oh, these are all just different little franchises and everybody plays for everybody. I try though. I try.
Okay, so you don't hate Chicago?
No.
Is there a team you hate because of the way they did you?
No, I thought I was done fine by everybody.
You thought you were treated fairly?
Yeah, man. I mean, like I was an undrafted free agent. Chicago gave me a chance, and I was there for 2 years.
Who was the quarterback there?
Jay Cutler.
What was he like?
Interesting guy. Kind of grumpy.
Could you say, give me the damn ball?
No. What? Well, I wasn't going to do that.
I'm just saying. I didn't know if you could. Look, you wide receivers, and I'll say it again. You people. I say it to Tyvus all the time. I say it to Bobby. I say it to DeVere. You people. You people at your position are supposed to be divas.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't be a diva?
There's levels to it.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you could, but you're scrapping for a roster spot,
right?
And it's like you're in a receiver. Now, I played with Brandon Marshall. He could say, "Give me the damn ball."
He's really good. Yeah, he's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, there was your number one guys, or Roy Williams was there for a year.
Okay.
He was older and not really in his prime, but
he was done.
Still our number one guy. They could say it. So yeah, you'll have that. But I wasn't in "give me the damn ball" territory.
Who should you have been ahead of on the depth chart? Who on the depth chart was ahead of you that wasn't as good as you?
Nobody.
Oh, come on. Don't do this. No. Roy Williams was toast. Was Billy Waddle. Who's the Waddle kid? He wasn't on the team then, no. There was not a single wide receiver above you. You thought, you know what? I am damn better than that guy. They're not listening. Go ahead.
No, I just didn't think that. I didn't. I mean, I think our number, Devin Hester played a ton, but he's a Hall of Famer. Was an okay at wide receiver, but made a lot of plays. Johnny Knox, before he was paralyzed, was in front of me.
Right.
That's actually why I played so much my rookie year in a sad turn.
He got hurt,
Yeah. So I got to play in the slot a lot. There were some really good players. I mean, I thought I was right in there with them, but there's nobody. It wasn't a situation where I was like, oh, this guy, if I just get my opportunity. No, there was like most rosters in the NFL.
Yeah.
These guys are pros.
Yeah.
Man, like now there's levels. There are some freak shows out there that are better than everybody.
Yeah.
Like Lamar Jacksons of the world. And actually most of your starting quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But yeah, across the board, no, man, these dudes. And then I went to Cincinnati and it was AJ Green, Mosanu, Marvin Jones,
right,
who's still playing. So I'm like, all these dudes, like, I'll nestle in here right at like number 3, number 4.
Did Jay Cutler ever call a play in the huddle, preseason or regular season, whatever, while smoking a cigarette? No, didn't happen. I wondered. There's rumors about that. I didn't know if he ever smoked on the field.
No, smoking Jay. That was like a bit back in the day. Yeah, they just like really early days of Photoshop, just putting cigarettes in his mouth. Yeah.
Coming up next, a week from now, we will know if Ohio State football is done for the season or on to Pasadena. What needs to happen at the Shoe on Saturday? We'll do that next. Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
'Tis the season to be hungry at Roosters. That's why for every $50 spent on Roosters gift cards, you'll receive a $10 Rooster Buck back in your stocking. May your holidays be filled with friends and family, love and laughter, and of course, Roosters Wings. Go to roosterswings.com today or drop by any Roosters location to purchase your $50 holiday gift cards and receive a $10 Rooster Buck in return. Happy holidays from all of us at Roosters. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
You might not consider yourself a tech expert, but that doesn't mean you can't protect yourself from online scammers with a little help from McAfee Total Protection. Whether it's a fake missed delivery text or an urgent bank alert, these scams can look incredibly convincing. That's where McAfee Total Protection steps in. So go ahead, manage your finances and shop online. McAfee will help keep your device's privacy and identity safer. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 your first year. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
Here we come a plumbing, we are known as Apex Pros. If you're plumbing...
Honey, there's carolers at the door. I'm not sure with it.
Your furnace goes out, there's no one near. Apex Pros comes running.
Something about furnaces and plumbing, I think.
If your furnace dies or your pipes aren't clear, electric trouble in your home, Apex Pros are near.
No, it's not very good, is it? Come in.
Heating and plumbing, electrical too. Apex Pros knows what to do.
No, not really Christmassy to sing about plumbing and furnaces, is it? Oh, yeah, they got that guarantee. What's that called?
5-star guarantee.
Are they listening out there? Can they hear what we're saying? Yeah, I probably should just lock the door.
Apex Pros, Apex Pros, Apex Pros, Apex Pros, you did Apex.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Common Man and T-Bone.
I missed a couple days and I missed the memo on its leather day. I would have worn some leather.
Do you have leather?
Yeah, I got leather.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I got leather.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on The Fan.
Do you need a new health insurance plan? Now is the time to get one. Literally. If you want Affordable Care Act coverage that starts January 1st, just make sure you apply by December 15th. But don't stress, Health Markets can help. At healthmarkets.com, you can look for available plans or find a licensed insurance agent. They'll answer your questions and when you're ready, even help you apply for your plan. Start the new year off with a plan that fits your needs and budget by visiting healthmarkets.com. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts.
Year-end pricing. New Kias under $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
$5? You see, Max, the holidays drive everyone crazy! Especially Great Lakes Kia.
Hi, mister. Did you hear? Year-end pricing.
Thanks, kid, but my credit's in the doghouse. No offense, Max.
If you've got a job, you ride.
A job, eh? Go on.
Lease new Kia K4, K5, and Sorrentos. All 3 under $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
That's only $149 a month for 24 months.
New 25 Kia K5 LXS, K4 LXS, and Sorrento LX. Standard with 3rd row seating. All 3 under $5 a day. Save thousands.
Thousands?
And we have 0% financing.
I'm tingly. I can't take it.
You're happy.
New Kias under $5 a day.
During the season of New Tradition sales event.
Great cars.
Great people. Great Lakes Kia.
In Columbus.
To
GreatLakesKia.com.
qualified buyers, visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
What's better than giving a gift everyone wants? Getting free gas and groceries by earning perks on gift cards purchased at Giant Eagle, Market District, and Get-Go. Choose from hundreds of gift cards to make everyone merry this holiday season, from the biggest retailers and best brands, all while earning you free gas and groceries. Stop in our stores for bonus perk offers on gift cards. Give the gift everyone wants, and get a little something for yourself, too. The holidays are magical at Giant Eagle, Market District, and Get-Go.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Scattered showers for us this afternoon, otherwise expected to be cloudy to mostly cloudy and breezy as our temperatures jump up into the mid to upper 40s. Tonight, a mild evening as lows do not go down that much as we are into the mid 40s. But for Monday, we kick off the work week with rain developing in the morning. Could have some heavy downpours at times. It'll be breezy yet again with daytime highs climbing into the mid to upper 50s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo.
The Fan is live and local with Morning Juice, Caffeinate, and Dominate.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. Your go-to destination for Buckeye football talk all year round. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
Fan Sports Sunday. Tito, Dane, Cam with you. By the way, so we got the game coming up here on Saturday, Ohio State, Tennessee. Night game. Game day is going to be here for with ESPN. And this was something that came out from Ross Bjorkman on Morning Juice on Thursday. He was asked by Bobby how a college football playoff home game is different from the regular season. So I want to play that for you now. Here is Bjork talking about that.
A lot of this planning started 2 years ago when it got announced that there were going to be home games. And so there were subgroups that were formed. Ohio State had staff members involved to say, okay, what should it look like when you have a home game? Now, look, we don't want to have a home game. Competitively, you want to buy, right? Sure. Well, that didn't happen, so now we're hosting. So the template has been laid out for the last couple of years. The work has been laid out. We're going to operate the game from a logistics, law enforcement, just like we would a normal home game. The in-game atmosphere is going to be a little more controlled by the CFP. Our staff will do it, but the scripting, how music's played, like Tennessee will have an intro video when their team runs on the field. We wouldn't do that for a normal visiting team, right? But we'll be able to do a lot of similar things that we do now, but the script will be a little more tame, if you will, in terms of what the CFP will allow. Not as many sponsor reads, not as many sponsor activations, but it also allows us to maybe do more things that are like we're doing a Scarlet out, right? So we want that to be an atmosphere that we can really latch onto. So maybe more things that we can do with our LED boards, with our video board that normally would be a sponsor. Now we can make it about atmosphere.
So there's some cool things going on with it, and it will look different. It won't look like a normal Ohio State home game. It'll be that way, by the way, across the board, all 4 of these first round games, to where, like you mentioned, the Tennessee, the song, and all kinds of stuff. There'll be certain things that will cater more to the visiting team than they would have done before. Make no mistake about it, though, it's an Ohio State home game. And I expect the home field advantage. I know Tennessee's, they've had some fans that have been able to infiltrate kind of the ticketing process. And so you might, look, Tennessee got 3,500 tickets allotted to them from Ohio State for this. I would bet there will be closer to 15,000 Tennessee fans here is my guess. But still should be a decided Ohio State home field advantage. So it will have a home field vibe to it for sure. There will be some other things, though, Dane, and that's fine. That's what it's going to expect. What we should expect in these CFP things. It's a home field advantage. It's not as big as it could have been, but it's still a significant advantage.
Yeah, I think it's every bit of an advantage that you could ask for. I mean, yeah there will be little stuff. That's interesting with the Tennessee intro and everything. I guess I didn't think of it. It's hosted by CFP, right? So they're like kind of calling the shots on it. We're the venue, and obviously proximity-wise, it's our stadium, so we're going to show up for it. You know, how much that actually has an effect on anything? You know, I don't know. I just think, like, regardless of the other atmosphere things, Ohio State fans are not dumb, right? You understand what's at stake here, and that has always lent itself to a really good environment. Yeah. Like, you're going to go into this game, like the Ohio State game, not the Ohio State game, obviously, the Ohio Stadium, and you're going to feel the college playoff implications here. That's why it's going to be exciting, man. I'm interested to see what it looks like because we've never seen it before.
Right.
An actual win or go home playoff game in December in your stadium. You know, it's like, so I mean, yeah, there's going to be a lot of different stuff. Tennessee will have a video, whatever. Right. They'll travel up here, but that's what I'm most interested to see is like what this stadium feels like with all of this on the line.
I love the fact that it's the final one because we're going to see this wave. You'll see Notre Dame, Indiana on Friday night. Then you'll see the SMU game against Texas. You'll see this kind of build up to this. And so all of these things, we're gonna witness it in 3 different atmospheres on TV, obviously, but we're going to witness it, though, and see what it means. The Indiana-Notre Dame night game is going to be huge for the state of Indiana. And so, but seeing all these things happen then and then lead into Ohio State, which is perfect. By the way, the last time Ohio State played Tennessee, Peyton Manning played for Tennessee in a bowl game. Eddie George was at Ohio State. So it's been a hot minute. Tennessee fans coming here. And look, Dane, I am an idiot ambassador, self-imposed or self-appointed, I should say, ambassador. Whenever teams come here, specifically ones that have been here before, I try to put best foot forward for Columbus. Like, I feel like, hey, welcome to Columbus, you know. Hope you enjoy your time here. Enjoy it, Tennessee. I always try to be that way. And I hope Ohio State fans are like that as well and not just flipping off guys who wear orange, you know, and like, oh, go back to Tennessee, you rednecks.
You know, it takes all kinds, man. You're just a nice guy, Tito. That's why. You want everybody to have fun and have a good time. Well, yeah, we're in the wrong profession. I know. Want everybody to like us. Don't read the chat, Tito, if you want everybody to like you.
I know.
But it's really more interesting about this game, too. We talked in like a behind enemy lines type segment earlier on the Buckeye Show earlier this week. With a beat reporter for the Vols and just talking about their mindset going into this game. It's just really interesting. Like they're a program that is like, this is a huge game for them. Like it's a huge game for everybody. But while our mindset is like, we should have had a bye, Tennessee's like, they're peaking in Tennessee program history really since that 1998. Like they're on that trajectory that you have a fan base that's like excited, you know, like this is a huge opportunity for them to jump into this next level of relevancy. Mm-hmm. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they travel really well up here.
I see 2 very simple keys in this game. And one is play calling. I hope Ohio State does not go back to what they did against Michigan as far as running the ball at the middle a bunch of times. Tennessee's got a really good defensive line. And so play calling for me is one. The other one is offensive line in general. And for anybody who wants to rip Ohio State's offensive line, keep in mind Seth McLaughlin, who just won the Remington Award as the best center in college football, he's out. We had the Josh Simmons injury against Oregon. Ohio State's lost two very, very damn good offensive linemen. They are absolutely trying to piece it together. No doubt about it. They're trying to find the right Rubik's Cube combination. I hope they find it in this one. We'll see what they do. But that's the other key in this game, though, for me, Dane, is if they get the right combination. And granted, you can help the offensive line with different play calling. If you try to run the ball with millions in Michigan, offensive line's going to get exposed. But if you can do some quick outs and things like that in misdirection plays, the offensive line can look better in those situations.
Yeah, you can absolutely help them. It's been talked about probably since the Michigan game about everything we could have or should have done differently, or trying to roam, or maybe we shouldn't. But yeah, I'm not. I just want to win this game. Yeah. I don't really have a preference of doing it, of how you do it. If you need to get cute with your athletes, right, then do it. Yeah. A win's a win. And that's why I was like, I don't think this team, and if the situation 2 years ago when we went into Georgia and it was like everything was cut loose and CJ Stroud's running and you have this like freewheeling offense, if that's a precursor to what we're going to see, I'm all about it. Like, if you need to get the ball out of your hands, throw it around, try new things, get creative. And why I feel like that's Chip Kelly's play. That's his wheelhouse too. Yeah. So that's what I would look forward to. And along the way, the more misdirection, the more mixing it up, that helps your offensive line. It slows down your defensive linemen.
Got to get the ball in the hands of the playmakers. We got so many playmakers on the offensive side of the ball, not just the running backs, the receivers as well, obviously with Jeremiah Smith, Emeka Ibuka, guys like that. And so just find ways to get them the ball in space and see what happens. So I'm hoping they will be a lot more creative offensively. We'll see what happens in that one. Weather-wise, the weather forecast, by the way, keep changing. It's looking now like before early in the week, it looked like it might be a situation where you have like temperatures in the 30s. And right now it's looking at a high of 30 on Saturday with a low of 16 on Saturday. So I don't think wind will be a big deal, but wind like around, it looks like as of right now, obviously we're doing a week out on this stuff, but they're saying mostly cloudy skies right now. Winds at 5 to 15 miles an hour, somewhere in there, but it should be cold. I'm not sure how cold it gets in Knoxville, but it shouldn't be that big of an adjustment, I don't think, for Tennessee. But nonetheless, looking forward to this game. Can't wait to see it on Saturday. And like I say, when Dane and I are here next Sunday, my God, I hope we're previewing a game against Oregon coming up on New Year's Day. All right, for us coming up next in 2 minutes, time for our weekly talk with our man Mecca Don. Buckle up, folks. Mecca Don's next. This is Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
We're back on the Nada Yada Island Confessions Show. Benny is about to tell us how he found two loves. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks to Metro, I found iPhone 12 and Apple Watch SE.
At Metro, get the perfect match of both iPhone 12 with 5G and Apple Watch SE for only $99.99. You heard that right. Both for just $99.99. Holidays with Nada Yada Yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile.
Bring your number and ID, sign up for Metro Flex Plus, and add a watch line. Not available if you're with T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days. Limit 2 per account.
Some things in life are meant for each other, like salt and pepper, bacon and mushrooms, or you and the all-new Wendy's Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, does bacon go with mushrooms? And the answer is, they do now. So if you want crispy, crunchy, cheesy, juicy, shroomy, and garlic spready, then you and the Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger are meant to be. For mushroomy, bacony goodness, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the Truehold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to Truehold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now. And you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And Truehold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. Truehold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a Truehold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. Truehold.com.
If your idea of the perfect radio show is all Buckeyes all the time, then it's your lucky day, Slappy, the Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. It's sports conversation, but with a drink and umbrella as a garnish. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
All right, Fan Sports Sunday. Tito and Dane here with you right now. Now we're going to head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling System Fan Guest Hotline. We do this every single week.
Let's get fired up for Buckeye season. It's time to buckle up with Mecca Don.
Mecca Don, Buckeye Nation. It's time.
D-Bucks, you beat.
Buckle up, we going for a ride. Buckle up.
All right, folks, buckle up. It's Mecca Don joining us here for his weekly segment on Fan Sports Sunday. Mecca, I gotta believe you're pumped and you're going to be bundled up on Saturday. Tell me you'll be at the game.
Oh my God, that's some terrible news.
Oh no! Come on!
A trip that was booked, a family vacation that was booked in August. Our flight for international trip leaves at 8:35 p.m. on Saturday. Can you imagine? Like, what are the chances of that happening? I'm still, trying to comprehend. So I'm going to be, scrambling to get Wi-Fi on the plane and try to watch it. I would not be in the building.
They're going to play your song, though, right?
I believe so. But, I think I think the playoffs format is a little different in terms of, who controls what. So I haven't really had the conversations yet. I'll probably have some a little bit later this week. But I don't think it's I think the CFP is involved in some of the kind of game day presentation stuff.
Here's my problem, Mecca. I envisioned you walking into the locker room before the game and telling them, hey, look, I know you guys, there's the blood, sweat, and the tears, all the stuff that's gone on, all the things you've been through. I need you to win this game because of what happened in 14 when I had the anthem then. And I need you to follow up in 24. I wanted that moment, and now you're telling me you'll be going through baggage claim, or you'll be going through security check at that time. Got to tell you, Mecca, I'm not happy about it.
Listen, I understand. I'm not happy about it either, but I will still obviously be there in spirit, and obviously will be trying to rally the troops this week as we prepare for that game.
Mecca, I think we should just send Tito in with a big boombox on his shoulder playing Buckle Up.
I love it.
I think that would also get the point across.
I think so. I actually like that idea. That's a good alternative.
It's the best we got right now. Yeah. So obviously you're fired up for this game. What's your temperature or feeling on this team? Obviously, it's been a weird time in Columbus, coming off a loss to Michigan and then trying to prepare for now what is the biggest game of your year so far. From your perspective, how have you rode this emotional roller coaster?
A couple of things, man. I think, first of all, from the team's perspective, particularly the players, I don't think they stopped believing in themselves. I think my analysis on what this team is and what they can be hasn't really changed since that game. I think obviously it's a terrible loss, and we all understand that, right? But I think what I've always believed about this team and what they can do, I think it still remains. And I think those guys now, in some ways, I'm not saying obviously they wanted to lose that game, but they're hearing what's going on. People talking about them and kind of bad mouthing them and stuff like that too. So in some ways, I think it's kind of created a rallying cry. We served as a rallying cry in some ways for this team. And I'm excited, man. I think these guys are uber talented. And I don't know. I mean, obviously, I hate the fact that we lost the team up north, but I think the fact that we have this chance to play an SEC team in December, for all the marbles. Well, not all the marbles, but for, to keep going. It's
a lot of marbles, yeah.
Opportunity. Yeah, for sure. Awesome opportunity.
Mecca Don joins us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Buckle up. He's obviously got the theme song this year, the anthem for Ohio State football, and also with the Ohio State Highway Patrol as far as buckling up when you're out there driving around. That's also pretty cool to see. Mecca, one of the polarizing conversations we've had since the Michigan game was about Ryan Day and his job status and what should happen. We did have Ross Bjork on this week on Morning Juice, and he talked about, no matter what happens to CFP, Ryan Day's our guy. He's back next year. How do you feel about that?
Well, first of all, I think anybody who understands kind of, leadership positions, what else is he going to say? Right? I mean, I think no matter what he's thinking, he can't say, well, Ryan's coaching for his job. I mean, he's not going to say that. You can't do that at this level, right? There are too many potential dominoes that are affected by that type of thing, right? Including just the confidence in the team, recruits, all that type of stuff. So he has to show confidence and make sure that Ryan isn't going in there coaching scared. That being said, each new thing that happens is an additional data point, right? So we've always heard what they call the dreaded vote of confidence. And I'm not saying that's what that was exactly, but, he has the right to evaluate the data as it comes in, right? And if we go out and we have a poor showing, let's say we get blown out by Tennessee for, which, we all hope doesn't happen, but let's just say that's an additional data point, and he's allowed to take that into consideration and make a decision after that. So I think that he had to do that regardless of what it is that he's thinking, particularly because he's not going to fire him before the CFP. So, that to me is just par for the course as far as leadership is concerned.
Yeah, and obviously this Tennessee game that's a huge data point. That's why I think it's like you're saying anything before it. You just need to see what happens here because this could completely turn the tide of the season. Mecca, obviously this is a unprecedented time in college football. This is the first time we're seeing this playoff era. And regardless of how we got there or the controversy or where slotted who, we've ended up with some awesome first-round matchups. I wanted to ask you, beside the Ohio State game coming up, what one are you most looking forward to? What's the most intriguing matchup to you?
Indiana plays Notre Dame, right?
Yep.
Am I right? I like that matchup, man, because first of all, I don't know. It's hard for me to evaluate either one of those teams are exactly. I know Indiana is talented. I really love what Marcus Freeman's done at Notre Dame. I think them losing to Northern Illinois earlier in the year just kind of like, probably unfairly shaded the way we viewed them. But I think they're a really good team, and I like what Kurt Cignetti has done over at Indiana. So I love that matchup. But to be honest, if you don't mind, I'm going to pivot here a little bit. I think that Oregon got screwed, man, with the bracket. I mean, that's just when I'm looking at that, I'm like, so that is your prize for getting first place, number one overall seed.
Yeah.
If you had to essentially probably go through Ohio State or Tennessee, then probably Texas and then potentially Georgia. That's your path for winning first place. And then Penn State, who lost to you, has on paper, right? I'm not saying any of those games are necessarily going to be easy, but on paper, a totally much easier path. So I think that if you don't, just a quick pivot, I feel like there has to be some changes in terms of how seeding is done next year. And I think they're already having discussions about that because, Oregon, imagine Oregon, you go through this season, you're 13-0, your very first game, you play Ohio State and you lose to Ohio State in the quarterfinals. That's a rough ending to your season.
Yeah, you're like, thanks for the reward for our undefeated season, guys. Right. I think you're absolutely right. So do you think, and you've probably followed this quite a bit, do you think just getting rid of it would seem to me that the auto bid getting in, right? Okay, you win your conference, you're in. Just putting you automatically in the top 12 field instead of putting you 1, 2, 3, and 4 would seem to correct that. Wouldn't that just have your best 4 teams regardless of if they're conference champs? Or how do you see them fixing this going forward?
I think so, and I probably need to dig into it a little bit more, but then also potentially even reseeding, after the rounds, after the first round could be a fix to it. Honestly, I haven't jumped so much into the weeds of it, but I think your first suggestion was spot on. I don't think we need to just automatically seed them that way. We gotta look at it and make sure that it's fair, right? And so, but that's the interesting thing about this kind of 12-team playoff that I don't think I really realized would play out is that you can have a team like Ohio State, for example, who doesn't have its best season, but is still in top 12. and one of those low-seeded teams has to play us early. That's going to be, I think that type of thing will happen. If Alabama would have gotten in, for example, imagine you got to play Alabama first round, and not that they're the Alabama of old.
Still don't want to see him.
Yeah, you still don't want to see him first round of the playoffs. So that is one thing that I will say. I was a little skeptical, and I still am in some ways about the expanded playoff. But I think that's one of the cool things that we'll see. At least is there are going to be some really interesting first round matchups as this thing keeps kind of going.
Mecca, safe travels, my friend. Are you back in time to do the show with us next Sunday, or should I plan now to fill your segment?
You're going to have to fill my segment, sir. I will be international land.
You keep saying international. Like, I want to ask you where it is. If you want to say it, that's okay. When you say international, like, it feels like it could be Iceland, or it feels like it could be something really exotic.
I'm going to Nigeria.
Okay. That's cool.
So we start in Amsterdam. My first flight, the reason why I was saying international is because the flight that I'm actually going to be on when I'm while the game is going, is going to be to Amsterdam. We stop in Amsterdam.
Okay.
So, but yeah, going to Nigeria. And then here's the crazy thing. My return flight literally lands at like 4:43 p.m. on January 1st. And guess what game starts at 5 p.m.?
5 o'clock, Ohio State, Oregon.
Yeah, if we can get through. So at least I'll be on US soil to see it if it happens. So prayers for that. But yeah, I think last thing I'll say, if you don't mind, I think the Buckeyes have a really good shot at winning this game. I know a lot of Buckeye fans are anxious and nervous, but I think our team is fired up, man, and ready to go. And so I hope the Buckeye Nation gets behind them, despite whatever angst and, feelings that they have. Let's get behind them and make sure we support them because they need us. Is
Chris Carter going with you? And if not, can he fill in for you?
He is not going with me, and I'm not sure if he can fill in, but I'll check with him.
Thank you, Becca. We appreciate it, buddy. It's been great having you on, man. We'll talk again soon. And again, safe travels, you and the family, bud, and we'll catch up again soon.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Go Bucks.
At Mecca Don Music, where you can find him. Love having him on every week. Buckle up with him. I love the song, love the anthem, love everything he does. He is a Scarlet and Gray through and through. All right, coming up next, the 2025 Big Ten schedule for football has been released, and a guy who knows Big Ten football ranked his top 5 games. We'll do that next. Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
You know that thing you've always been too scared to go for? It seems like you'll never have the guts. Then a cancer diagnosis. And doing that thing becomes way less scary. I would know. I've always wanted a black belt. And today, the only thing standing in my way is a few wooden boards. It's been a lot of hard work and 5 years since I beat cancer at Ohio Health. Bring it on. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
Busy schedule? This is Ryan Krieger, and Krieger Ford has you covered. Krieger Ford offers pickup and delivery, or our mobile service van will come right to you. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today only at KriegerFord.com.
Here we come, plumbing. We are known as Apex Pros. If you're plumbing,
honey, there's carolers at the door. I'm not sure what
your furnace goes out. There's no one near. Apex Pros comes running.
Something about furnaces and plumbing, I think.
If your furnace dies or your pipes aren't clear, electric trouble in your home, Apex Pros are near.
No, it's not very good, is it? Come in.
Heating and plumbing, electrical too. Apex Pros knows what to do.
No, not really Christmassy to sing about plumbing and furnaces, is it? Oh, yeah, they got that guarantee. What's that called?
5-star guarantee.
Are they listening out there? Can they hear what we're saying? Yeah, I probably should just lock the door.
Apex Pros, Apex Pros, Apex Pros, Apex Pros.
You did apex.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to HIMSS.com/joy.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds? Birds? What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Bring the thrill of the stadium to your wallet with the Love My Crew checking account from Pathways, the only checking account that rewards you for being a Crew fan. Pathways Financial Credit Union, your true financial partner. Federally insured by NCUA.
Much like a vampire, we need to be invited into your house. But once we're in, we never leave. Listen to The Fan on your Alexa or Google Home smart speaker. Just say play 97.1 The Fan and prepare to be amazed. Do it now.
'Tis the season to be hungry at Roosters. That's why for every $50 spent on Roosters gift cards, you'll receive a $10 Rooster Buck back in your stocking. May your holidays be filled with friends and family, love and laughter, and of course, Roosters Wings. Go to roosterswings.com today or drop by any Roosters location to purchase your $50 holiday gift cards and receive a $10 Rooster Buck in return. Happy holidays from all of us at Roosters. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Tech scams, identity thieves, data leaks. Hearing about these online threats every day can be stressful. But don't worry. McAfee Total Protection is here to help you live a worry-free life online. What does worry-free mean? Well, it means you won't have to wonder if that text message is a scam, if new threats will pop up on your PC, or if you're safe from identity theft. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 your first year. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
I'm Rick Reichert at Reichert Ford's Holiday Sales Blitz. We're dealing. Now is the perfect time to check that Ford off your holiday wish list. And here at Reichert Ford, our holiday deals are designed to keep more money in your pocket. So guess what? Lease a new 2024 hybrid F-150 for just $499 a month for 36 months. Zero down. Or lease new 2024 Bronco Sport for just $399 a month for 36 months. Also zero down. You want massive holiday selection? You want to save more with deep holiday pricing? You want to skip the long lines and the wait? Well, get all that and more right now at #1 Reichert Ford's Holiday Sales Blitz. Save more money and shop the best holiday selection now at Reichert Ford's Holiday Sales Blitz, the largest volume Ford dealer in Ohio at Route 33 and Hamilton Road, 2 minutes off 270, and at ReichertFord.com. Based on Ford report for total new retail sales, Cincinnati region, offers end 12/31. On approved credit, no security deposit required. Come in now because we're dealing.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tito and Defere are so dedicated to their craft, they slept in the studios last night. Or they were too hungover. Whatever. It's Fan Sports Sunday.
Indeed, it is Fan Sports Sunday. Defere off today. My man Dane Sanzenbacher filling in. Cam back there running things for us. Thank you for spending part of your Sunday with us. We do appreciate that here until 1 o'clock, and then game day takes over. Also appreciate all the people chiming in on the chat. Thank you for all of that. This week, Dane, the Big Ten released their 2025 Big Ten football schedule. And Joel Klatt, who obviously, because of the big noon kickoff, does a lot of the Ohio State games, really, because Ohio State played at noon a lot this year. Anyway, he has a lot of experience viewing the Big Ten, and he put out his top 5 games involving Big Ten teams for the upcoming season. Start at number 5 on September 6th. Michigan is at Oklahoma. That should be a doozy. A couple of disappointing teams. Oklahoma obviously is they had their signature win over Alabama in the regular season, but Oklahoma's not where they normally would like to be as far as in the landscape of college football now in the SEC. But that should be a fun game. Michigan at Oklahoma, September 6th. I bet that'll be a night game.
Yeah, that's one of those classic matchups, too, that will draw eyeballs regardless. It'll just be cool to see Michigan at Oklahoma. There's a few of those, and it's funny now that with the shifting of all the conferences, they become in-conference stuff. But some of these others on this list that we're going to talk about are just like same type of thing. It's fun to have these big matchups in the stadiums. But yeah, we said September 6th, so that's pretty early. Yeah. That'll be a big one for them. And
maybe Bryce Underwood is starting for Michigan, the phenom coming in,
Awesome storyline.
That'd be fun to watch, too, on that one. All right, number 4 on his list is Penn State at Ohio State November 1st. Another opportunity for James Franklin to get that monkey off his back, which he can't seem to get off his back. Ohio State hosting Penn State in November. I just want cold.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one, too. And it's funny with these, anything could happen this year still with these teams.
Yeah.
And that could put a huge implication on what this looks like next year. Like, what if Penn State makes a run? They got a pretty good path.
Yeah, they do. They've got a more favorable path than Ohio State's got.
Right.
Yeah.
So you could have like these two teams, and Penn State, I think James Franklin has that same kind of monkey on his back that now Ohio State has with Michigan.
Right.
Because Franklin has led one of the better, they've been top of the Big Ten every year. Those big games, man. He's got to get over that hump.
Getting away from the Big Ten East and Big Ten West has been very beneficial to James Franklin because he used to be had to get past Ohio State and Michigan to get the conference championship game, and now it's not so much that way every year, and so he's not so much, I think, in the bullseye of the critics for where Penn State finishes. Number 3, Oregon at Penn State, September 27th. By the way, also September 27th is Ohio State at Washington. But Oregon at Penn State, September 27th. The Ducks this year, I think, had a very favorable schedule in the Big Ten. This could be a very tough game for them. I wish it was later in the season, but September 27th, not bad. It will be probably the most difficult game for Oregon on their schedule this year at Penn State. And, we talk about the Ohio State Penn State game November 1st. This will be the first opportunity of Penn State to really get a statement win.
Yeah, so they had a decently, because Penn State didn't play Oregon this year, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so they're going to have to run the gauntlet next year.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see going forward with this many teams in the Big Ten, how these things get set up, that you're going to, who's going to actually have the tough part of the Big Ten schedule. It seems like it's Penn State's turn next year.
And then number 2 on his list, which I thought would be number 1, but it's number 2 on his list. And it features, look, honestly, it could be the number 1 and number 2 teams in the country playing on August 30th here in Columbus when Texas comes to play Ohio State. That's the first game of the season for Ohio State. I don't know if I love having that big of a game to start things off. Arch Manning, probably going to be the quarterback. I know Quinn Ewers, there's talk about Quinn Ewers either going to the pros or he's got offers to go to, there's a Big Ten school reported they're offering $4 million to transfer over. I think that might be Michigan State, but no, nothing's been confirmed on that yet.
Was it us?
I don't think it was us. I hope it's not us. But anyway.
See, we got a lot of money sunk into him already.
It does. We paid him a lot already. We should probably get the money back that we spent him. Yeah. So anyway, we'll see what happens with that. But it feels like it's going to be Arch Manning here against Ohio State, because I think they've already behind the scenes kind of said, hey, we're going to move on from Quinn Ewers after this season, regardless of what he does. But that's going to be a huge game on August. I don't like starting the season that way, though, Dane. I'd rather play a cupcake.
No, I don't mind it. Okay. I'm just at the camp. I get it. You want to, cupcakes are good.
Right.
As many as you can win. But from a entertainment perspective, I'm all about getting bigger games earlier in the season too. Because it was a drag this year as a fan. Great for the stat sheet, but when we had this run of like teams that we were 30-point favorites against, I just don't think that's where the sport needs to land. I think the more competitive games you get, the better. So I'm fired. I think that's an outstanding. I'm surprised also that that's number 2. To me, that would be the most intriguing game of the year.
You know what number 1 is?
I do, and I don't know why it would be number 1 on Klatt's list.
So he's doing the Ohio State at Michigan November 29th. And I think Ohio State Texas is a bigger game. I really do. But Ohio State at Michigan November 29th. Obviously, there's going to be so many subplots with that. As far as with the Ryan Day thing going on the road now, Michigan having Bryce Underwood there, Ohio State, Julian Sayin probably the quarterback. Is that you think of the quarterback next year starting?
I think so.
I think so too.
I don't have any insider info that would tell me that, but that's what I understood going into this year, that he's been kind of the man in waiting.
Yeah. And so that's the number 1 game on his list. And I've said this before, and I don't know if you've done much of a look on this one, but the team in the Big Ten that's got the most brutal schedule next year is Wisconsin. Wisconsin next year. Dane, listen to this. Wisconsin's football schedule next year. They are playing, first of all, they got a couple easy ones, Miami, Ohio, and then Middle Tennessee. That's fine. Then they travel to Alabama. At Alabama on Saturday, September 13th. Other road games for them. They play at Michigan. They host Ohio State. They also play at Oregon. They also play at Indiana. So, and they host Washington. They host Iowa. But still, their road games include Alabama, Michigan, Oregon, Indiana, and host Ohio State. The Ohio State game is on October 18th, at Oregon, October 25th. That is a brutal schedule for them. And I love Luke Fickell, but this is not the kind of schedule that I think that they will, I hope it will help them to, you can't evaluate Luke Fickell on the record from this schedule. You know what I mean? Like, you can't say.
Sure you can, Tito.
No,
Everybody's
you
going
can't.
to. It's a tough schedule.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, everybody will recognize that that's tough. And if you pick off a couple of those road wins, how big that is for your season.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you don't know. I mean, yeah, you're going to be probably the underdog in all of those games.
Yes, I would say those four and the Ohio State one, yes.
You pick off a couple of those wins,
right?
That can be huge for your program. I know my wife's going to be very happy that you mentioned Bloomington, Indiana is like a tough road game for Wisconsin. It's like a new era in college football, folks.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. But I think, like, even to go back to that list, Ohio State, Michigan, it could very well, by November 29th, reach the most important game of the year, depending on what the stakes are.
Yeah.
You know, like, because Texas' first week of the year, so much changes, but there's, as it always is, if both of these teams are relevant and there's huge playoff implications, then it easily, could bump to the top of that list because it could drop one of the teams out altogether.
Indiana plays at Iowa next year among their tougher games, at Oregon. They also are at Penn State and host Wisconsin. So I don't think we'll see a one-loss Indiana team next year. That's a pretty tough road right there.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. They open up with Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, and then Indiana State. So that should be a 3-0 start there. Then they play Illinois.
It's a band.
And Iowa. What's that?
It's a band, a basketball school, and
Old Dominion's a band.
Yeah.
Kennesaw State. Indiana State's a basketball school. I don't know what the hell Kennesaw State is.
I think they're actually pretty good at basketball too.
They are.
I feel like I've seen them in an
NCAA game.
Yeah, in a bracket. I think they make the tournament. Yeah.
You probably have. All right, coming up next, top of the hour, we're going to Sports Center update from Cam. Get you caught up on what's happening. It will happen this weekend as we get ready for the NFL start this week. This is Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
1, 2, 3. Here in The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan.
Year-end pricing. New Kias under $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
$5? You see, Max, the holidays drive everyone crazy. Especially Great Lakes Kia.
Hi, mister. Did you hear? Year-end pricing.
Thanks, kid, but my credit's in the doghouse. No offense, Max.
If you've got a job, you ride.
A job, eh? Go on.
Lease new Kia K4, K5, and Sorrentos. All three under $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
That's only $149 a month for 24 months.
New 25 Kia K5 LXS, K4 LXS, and Sorrento LX. Standard with third row seating. All three under $5 a day. Save thousands.
Thousands?
And we have 0% financing.
I'm warm. I'm tingly. I can't take it.
You're happy.
New Kias under $5 a day.
During the season of New Tradition sales event.
Great cars.
Great people. Great Lakes Kia.
In Columbus.
GreatLakesKia.com.
To qualified buyers, visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Some things in life are meant for each other, like salt and pepper, bacon and mushrooms, or you and the all-new Wendy's Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, does bacon go with mushrooms? And the answer is, they do now. So if you want crispy, crunchy, cheesy, juicy, shroomy, and garlic spready, then you and the Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger are meant to be. For mushroomy, bacony goodness, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
We're back on the Nada Yada Island Confessions Show. Benny is about to tell us how he found two loves. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks to Metro, I found iPhone 12 and Apple Watch SE.
At Metro, get the perfect match of both iPhone 12 with 5G and Apple Watch SE for only $99.99. You heard that right. Both for just $99.99. Holidays with Nada Yada Yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile.
Bring your number and ID, sign up for Metro Flex Plus, and add a watch line. Not available if you're with T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days. Limit 2 per account.
The nightmare of the cleared drain. Those drain clearing specials from the other guys seem like a great deal until you realize the only thing really going down your drain is your money. At the Waterworks, we mean clean.
Our service doesn't just clear your drains, it cleans them too. It's done right the first time, so that nightmare of a drain becomes a dream come true. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call 614-232-2222 to get started.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here, and I've been talking about High Bank whiskey for a while now, and I'm not alone. This just in, High Bank Distillery Co. is the most awarded distillery in America for the 2024 San Francisco World Spirits Competition. It's simply the largest spirits competition in the world, and we've got the best right here in Columbus, Ohio. So the next time you're looking for a pour of the good stuff, stop by your local liquor store to grab a bottle, or stop into the 3 restaurant locations in Gahanna, Grandview, or Westerville. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan.
Good afternoon. I'm Cam Taylor. The OSU men's basketball team were blown out yesterday by number 2 ranked Auburn, 91-53 in Atlanta. They will play Valparaiso on Tuesday at 8 p.m. The number 11th ranked OSU women's basketball team took care of business yesterday against Youngstown State, winning 87-39. They will play on Tuesday at noon against Grand Valley State. The Columbus Blue Jackets lost 4-3 in overtime against the Anaheim Ducks last night. They are back on the ice today to face the Carolina Hurricanes at 5 p.m. The Fan will have coverage starting at 4:30. Colorado's Travis Hunter won the 2024 Heisman Trophy last night over Boise State's Ashton Jeanty, Oregon's Dalen Gabriel, and Miami of Florida's Cam Ward. Navy beat Army 31-13 behind the big game from Hilliard's own Blake Horvath. Cincinnati Bengals will take on the Tennessee Titans today at 1 p.m. The Cleveland Browns are hosting the Kansas City Chiefs today at 1 p.m. And the Pittsburgh Steelers will travel to Philly to face the Eagles at 4:25.
Are you still in your pajamas? We are. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Final segment of the program. Tito, Dane, Cam with you. Thank you so much for spending time with us here. Thank you for being in the chat as well on YouTube. We appreciate that. Lots going on today. NFL going to kick off right now. The Browns are hosting the Chiefs and Taylor Swift. That is over on the AM side, ESPN 1460. Ohio State men blown out by Auburn yesterday, 91-53. They'll host Valpo on Tuesday. Ohio State women rolled Youngstown State 87-39. They've got Grand Valley State at noon on Tuesday. Kevin McGuff's going to join us here at around 1:30 to talk about that win and where the team is at. Travis Hunter won the Heisman. No big surprise there. CBJ lost 4-3 in overtime against Anaheim. CBJ dropped 6 of 7. They are in Carolina today. Our coverage starts at 4:30. Puck drop at 5 right here on the Fan. Navy got a big game from Hilliard's Blake Horvath. They beat Army 31-13. Michigan quarterback Alex Orji is transferring. Also, Miller Moss, the quarterback from USC, is transferring to Louisville. He spent 4 seasons at USC. So the transfer portal alive and well, doing well. The Milwaukee Bucks and the Oklahoma City Thunder are headed to the NBA Cup final, which if you care about that, that's fine, but I don't pay much attention to that. I know the Lakers, I believe, won it last year. I don't know if they hung a banner, and I think the NBA wanted them to hang a banner. College football coaching news, Bill Belichick, who at one time expressed interest in the Jets job, but never went anywhere with that. And he has accepted the head coaching job at North Carolina, Dane. And what's interesting about this to me is, from reports I've read, the first half of the NFL season, Bill Belichick would kind of convene weekly with people he was going to have on his staff if he ever got an NFL job again. And they would review game tape, talk about different organizations, talk about the fit for different organizations, and like look at things, say strategically, would we want to be there? Would we want to be here? Which would be the best option?
Really?
First half of the season. They would talk every week and like look at game tape, like the all 22, and say this is, whatever, and give their opinions amongst the group on what is the best fit for Belichick and his staff. About halfway through the season, he began to realize, I'm not going to get an offer. I'm not going to get an offer in the NFL. And not to say teams would want him, but I don't think teams would meet his demands as far as what kind of control he would want. I think that's more what it is. Belichick's a brilliant coach. I think there was some kind of disconnect there on he realized at some point midway through the season that there's not going to be a connection with the NFL now. So he transitioned to this college thing, and now he takes the job at North Carolina, brings in Mike Lombardi, a former assistant of his, also did personnel work for the Browns. He's going to be the GM for North Carolina. Stephen Belichick's coming over from Washington. He's going to assemble an NFL-type staff, I believe, there. So Bill Belichick, though, he's got a $10 million buyout right now. It's a 5-year contract, $10 million a year, 3 years guaranteed, and on June 1st, his buyout drops to $1 million. So how many years do you think Bill Belichick is the head coach at North Carolina?
My gut says 3. I was going to say, what's the over under? I think he'll give it a shot, man. It depends if he's having some success. I mean, if it just turns out that it's the world of college football 3 years from now is as close to what he's used to in the pros, but he's able to have even more control because he would. At this point, if he makes it work at North Carolina, they'll say, whatever you want, sir, Mr. Belichick.
Yes.
And it's something that NFL teams wouldn't probably readily do. So, yeah, I'm going to say at least 3.
Here's what I want to see. What really intrigues me, Dane, about this. I think Belichick's a genius as far as coaching football goes. Genius. Personnel decisions, leaves a little bit to be desired there, but I think he is an absolute genius as it comes to scheming a game plan.
Okay.
And I want to see how much of a difference that makes. When Ohio State takes the field, in almost every game they play, they have superior talent. Fair? Right? Maybe once or twice a year, it's even or they're in a deficiency.
Yeah, even at worst.
Right.
Yeah.
Even at worst. So all if you're Chip Kelly, if you're when you're Ryan Day and all this, when you are defensive coordinators, everything, you've always got Jim Knowles has an advantage talent wise over the other team. Belichick won't have that, at least initially, early on, and I'm curious how much of a difference it makes as a coach if he's got the famous line. I think it was. Bum Phillips may have said this about Don Shula way back when. And he said Don Shula would take his guys and beat you and then take your guys and beat his guys. And I wonder if Belichick can do that at the college level.
That will be a really interesting question to get answered. That's why you're so good, Tito, because that's an outstanding question.
I want to see it. I want to see how big.
That's why I think if this goes forward and it says we get to the start of 2025 season, and Belichick says, "Yep, we're doing it. This isn't just a show. We're assembling a team, and we're going to see how this works." Mm-hmm. That's definitely going to. That's why I think that this will be one of the more interesting stories in college football of 2025, regardless of how it goes, because of the implications.
Sure.
What does this mean? Does scheme matter that much? You got one of the best minds doing it. Can he win with this? And then what have they plugged into place to make UNC look like an NFL program and NFL franchise?
Yeah.
And how has that succeeded? Has it been good? Is this something that others can copy? So you'll learn. Even if he is failing at it, you learn something from it.
They open up with TCU at home on August 30th. I'm not saying TCU is an elite program, but they are a competent college football program. As far as their schedule goes, their toughest games look like probably at NC State. They do host Clemson. They've got to play Duke. They play at Syracuse, but there's no Miami on their schedule this year. But still, there'll be opportunities there to see how big of an impact the coaching will have at North Carolina. And yes, I'm shocked he's doing it. I'm glad he's doing it. I think it'll be fun for college football fans to watch that, and North Carolina certainly will get some notoriety. Another move that was made in the college football coaching ranks, Rich Rodriguez goes back to West Virginia. Brian Hartline, Ohio State wide receivers coach, interviewed for the position, and you'll see Hartline interviewing for more positions as we go forward. But West Virginia hired Rich Rod, who left West Virginia 17 years ago to go to Michigan. He had a lot of success at West Virginia, led them to the cusp of the BCS National Championship, but they lost in their 2007 season finale at home against Pitt 13-9, and then 2 weeks later he went to Ann Arbor to coach Michigan. By the way, for you college football fans out there, something to think about, Dane, is that before Rich Rod ended up going to Michigan, before that he had turned down another job.
Yeah.
He was the first choice at Alabama before they hired Nick Saban. Rich Rod turned down Alabama, and Alabama went and hired Nick Saban.
What year was that?
Like 07 it would have been, maybe 06, 07, somewhere in there. Yeah. Yeah, Alabama went after Rich Rod. He turned them down. Alabama turned to Nick Saban. So, think how much different the world could have been.
I thought, who was it Bama before Saban?
Before Saban?
I just thought he had been there for longer than that.
No, so I'm trying to think who's the Alabama football coach before that, because they did have that brief thing where they hired somebody and ended up having to fire him because he lied on something with his resume.
I didn't mean to divert you. I thought
No, it's fine. That's good. I should know it. No, but yeah, but Rich Rod, though, think if he would have gone there instead of Nick Saban going there, how much different that could have been. So before Saban went there, you had Mike Shula was there from 03 to 06.
Okay.
He went 10-23 in his time there. Think about that. I think, I'm sorry, it's not 10-23. I think I'm looking at that right. Yeah, I think that's right. 10-23 was it. Let me double check that. No, it wasn't 10-23. It was, he went 49-10. Is that right?
Oh, my God. Tito,
no, 10-23. No, he's 10-23. No, I got it. Mike Shula went 10-23 in 49 games there. It was ended up being his record because some stuff got abandoned. And then they fired him. Joe Kynes filled in as an interim coach for one game in 06. Saban took over in 07. So.
Yeah, the Rich Rod thing that's an interesting hire back. You know, what is in, I guess maybe I should know, what has he been up to? Where's he coming from? Okay, so he was the head coach at Jacksonville State. Is what he did, is what he's coming from right now. He was spent 3 seasons at Jacksonville State, and before that, he had done things like after the Michigan game, he had gone through and done a couple of like assistant jobs and things like that. But yes, so Jacksonville State, those where he's been at the last 3 seasons, and coaching college football there. So, and he does come out and he said this is surreal. I never should have left. He's got a 5-year contract with them, but obviously Michigan fans wish he never would have left also West Virginia to come to Michigan because he had all the, obviously Michigan failed miserably under Rich Rodriguez. So, but Heartline interview for the job. I think it's a good fit. Look, Rich Rod's one of those guys, as far as West Virginia goes, we see guys sometimes, Dane, that they are built for certain gigs. I think Rich Rod can win at West Virginia. Schiano can win at Rutgers. I'm not saying he's going to win national championships, but Schiano can win there. I think O'Brien's good for Boston College. Bielema was good for the Big Ten versus Arkansas. You know what I mean? In general.
Yeah, just like he coached in Wisconsin, did well, went to Arkansas and sucked, and now he's the only one doing better. Yeah. So I just think that there are certain guys that are built that way that are good fits for certain regions, certain programs, certain styles of football. I think Rich Rod will have success at West Virginia.
I think you're right. I think there's certain guys that fit into the mold of some programs of where their expectations are, what they want to accomplish. Yeah. And that's just where they ought to settle. And then there's some that want to jump around. I always love when, a coach is willing to, they're getting paid enough, right? Yeah. They get in a place they're like, hey, I'm going to make a career here. Right, and they're there for years or even over a decade of coaching, building a program there. It's rare, but I always find that I find it fun to be able to turn on the TV year after year and you kind of know who the head coach is going to be.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think he'll be a good fit going back there. Obviously, he was the first time.
By the way, the argument on the Brian Day thing after Gene Stallings, Alabama had Mike DuBose, who went 24-23. Dennis Francione went 17-8. Mike Price, who got fired because he lied on his resume, and then Mike Shula went 10-23 before Saban. You want to go through that? I'm done talking about it. Coming up next. Transfer portal's popping. OSU.
You deserve that. In that person's defense, you bumbled through it. I did. You give that guy credit. Thanks, man. We needed help there.
Ohio State appears to be in the mix with some pretty damn good players in the portal. We'll talk about that next. This is Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
If you've been too busy to sign up for your health insurance plan, it's understandable. It's also why there's Health Markets. At healthmarkets.com, you can see the plans available to you and even speak to a licensed insurance agent. Just dial pound 250 and say Health Markets. They'll answer your questions, and when you're ready, even help you apply. Just dial pound 250 and say Health Markets. Getting your new health insurance plan could be easier than you think. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Hey, Aaron, I invented 3 new ways for people to use our genius electricians.
I'm all ears.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Our electricians can put a power outlet anywhere you want one. Behind a painting or inside a closet.
Above a nightstand or beneath your desk.
Out in your yard or anywhere else you can imagine.
Get Eco.
ECO.
You are the artist and your house is your canvas.
And our genius electricians are your paintbrush.
Now paint your walls with rich, romantic, reactive light.
Your paintings will pop. Your gardens will glow.
Paint your home with artistic light and shimmering shadows, and everyone will love being at your house.
Rich, romantic, reactive light.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Our genius electricians can turn your house into a high-tech wonderland where you can live a stress-free life.
None of these things were there when you bought your house.
But our genius electricians can put them there. We do it right at the speed of light.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Some things in life are meant for each other, like salt and pepper, bacon and mushrooms, or you and the all-new Wendy's Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, does bacon go with mushrooms? And the answer is, they do now. So if you want crispy, crunchy, cheesy, juicy, shroomy, and garlic spready, then you and the Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger are meant to be. For mushroomy, bacony goodness, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Bobby Carpenter once sold workout equipment on QVC Canada. There's no joke here. That actually happened. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Billiards Plus has the area's best selection of pool tables, shuffleboard tables, poker tables, and more. Select tables are still in stock, so hurry before they run out. Find stocking stuffers galore with darts, cues, and more game room goodies. Shop Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
'Tis the season to be hungry at Roosters. That's why for every $50 spent on Roosters gift cards, you'll receive a $10 Rooster Buck back in your stocking. May your holidays be filled with friends and family, love and laughter, and of course, Roosters Wings. Go to roosterswings.com today or drop by any Roosters location to purchase your $50 holiday gift cards and receive a $10 Rooster Buck in return. Happy holidays from all of us at Roosters. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Year-end pricing. New Kias under $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
$5? You see, Max, the holidays drive everyone crazy! Especially Great Lakes Kia.
Hi, mister. Did you hear? Year-end pricing.
Thanks, kid, but my credit's in the doghouse. No offense, Max.
If you've got a job, you ride.
A job, eh? Go on.
Lease new Kia K4, K5, and Sorrentos. All 3 under $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
That's only $149 a month for 24 months.
New 25 Kia K5 LXS, K4 LXS, and Sorrento LX. Standard with 3rd row seating. All 3 under $5 a day. Save thousands.
Thousands?
And we have 0% financing.
I'm tingly. I can't take it.
You're happy.
New Kias under $5 a day.
During the season of New Tradition sales event.
Great cars.
Great people. Great Lakes Kia.
In Columbus.
GreatLakesKia.com.
To qualified buyers, visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Hey, Jackets fans, we know what's on your holiday wish list. Ask your Secret Santa for a Blue Jackets holiday gift pack. You'll score 2 tickets plus a Blue Jackets helmet shirt, all for just $99. Learn more at BlueJackets.com/holiday. Fan weather.
from the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Scattered showers for us this afternoon, otherwise expected to be cloudy to mostly cloudy and breezy as our temperatures jump up into the mid to upper 40s. Tonight, a mild evening as lows do not go down that much as we are into the mid 40s. But for Monday, we kick off the work week with rain developing in the morning. Could have some heavy downpours at times. It'll be breezy yet again with daytime highs climbing into the mid to upper 50s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to The Fan. It's Sunday. We're a sports station, and we shall call it Fan Sports Sunday.
Fan Sports Sunday. By the way, stick around because at 1:30, Kent McGuff's going to join us. Ohio State women's head basketball coach. By the way, Dave, I don't know if you were surprised to hear this or not. Chiefs lead the Browns 7-0.
What?
I know. Patrick Holmes threw a touchdown pass, 7-yard touchdown strike to Juju Smith-Schuster in that game. So Chiefs up 7-0 about halfway through the first quarter in that one. Jacksonville leads the Jets 7-0 in their game. We got that one. Touchdown pass, Mac Jones to Brian Thomas Jr. So other games, let's see. Tennessee leads the Bengals 7-0 right now. Tony Pollard, touchdown run for them. Houston leads Miami 3-0. C.J. Stroud in that game, 4 or 5 to start things off for 35 yards. I think that's all the scoring going on right now in the NFL, but the 1 o'clock games underway. Obviously, the big ones are later on, I believe, with the 4 o'clock games, the 4 o'clock window, 4:25, and you got Steelers, Eagles, and Bills, Lions. So transfer portal alive and well, people entering it, and Ohio State will have to.
I love how you've put that twice now, that it's like alive and well.
It's alive and
like,
well.
what else is it going to be doing? We checked in with the transfer portal. It's doing well.
It's doing well.
Had a good holiday season.
The vitals are checking out okay. Everything's in good shape there. Yes.
People are moving.
Ohio State is going to have to make some plays in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
We know the recruiting class. We've got all that stuff signed. Ohio State, top 5, top 6, whatever you want to say. I still contend, Dane, that the transfer portal is as important, if not more important, than the recruiting, than signing day, just because you can get guys who you have tape on already. Seth McLaughlin was one of them last year, somebody they brought in from the portal. Caleb Downs, somebody got in from the portal. You saw them play. Quinshon Judkins, Will Howard. You've seen them play college competition, and you've got tape on them. So I think Ohio State's biggest need, here we go, breaking news on this, is the offensive line. They've got to get more players like that can contribute on the offensive line right now with experience. And there's a kid out of Nevada who I know they're looking at, and hopefully has we'll start Northwestern's offensive lineman Josh Thompson. That's one of them also. But the one I'm looking at is Isaiah World out of Nevada, and he is a big boy, 6'8", 309. And he is somebody who is a target also of Ohio State. I think if they can get a couple of stud transfer offensive linemen, that will make a world of difference on this team.
It will, and I think it's going to have to be a balance of a little bit of both. You know, you want portal, but you want to be able to get those young guys too, to be able to develop them. And I agree completely with what you said. If the portal is probably for immediate success, yeah, it's more important. Sure, and you saw Indiana, this past year use the portal beautifully. They got all the players they wanted that they thought fit, and anymore it might turn into, hey, you're trying to build your all-star team 1 year at a time.
Yeah.
But I think with teams like Ohio State, you do want to think big picture, solid program built for the long term. I think that's where your freshmen come in. That's where your high school recruiting. And it was interesting too. In that same article about Belichick, it talked a little bit about recruiting, and actually Coach Meyer was quoted in there in saying he talked to a basketball coach recently that said, you would love recruiting right now because you almost don't have to recruit. Yeah. There's no more like spending hours, cozying up to guidance counselors and grandmothers and families because, money talks, and it's become, and like it or not, that's kind of where even high school recruiting is.
Right.
I say that because I'm not sure, with that mindset, I'm not sure how much different portal versus incoming freshman is, or portal versus high school is. I think it's a lot of the same conversation, because at this point in this semi-pro or whatever it is, you're not courting as much as you are making deals. So you would approach, you're seeing the asset of an incoming freshman, a high school guy, as what he could be long-term. So what you want to invest in that, in your resources, whatever it may be, the same thing as you're getting an asset that's already proven from the portal. I think from a coaching perspective, you probably handle them pretty seriously, or pretty similarly, on how we want to build our current team and how we want to expend our resources, whether those resources are time or money.
I feel like in a situation with Ohio State, you've got to be careful when it comes to quarterbacks, because Ohio State's built up this quarterback pipeline, and we see it every year. They get a 5-star guy comes in, and I know this year they had a transfer come in because McCord left, and so they bring in Will Howard, also bring in Julian Sayin as well, but still they brought in Will Howard to be the starter. And I don't think that's the model Ohio State wants to have. I think they want to be able to develop their quarterbacks to where you've got Sayin in there now. You got Tavion St. Clair coming in. I think that if you bring in transfer quarterbacks to start, it sets a bad precedent. I think other positions you can do it because there's timeshares. With Judkins, you can bring in, I think Travion Henderson has to love having Quinshon Judkins there on the team this year. You can bring in other positions that spread the wealth more, whereas a quarterback touches the ball every single play. They've got a couple of running backs they're looking at right now, because the assumption is that, Judkins is gone, Henderson's gone, but Quentin Joyner from USC, the running back, I think he had the most yards per carry in the Big Ten this year. Didn't get a lot of touches. He got 63 carries, but he rushed for 478 yards. Also, Alabama running back Justice Haynes, somebody else they're looking at. I get that. I think that's important to do that. I think you got to address the offensive line, but the receiver room is going to be just fine. There's receivers that want to come to Ohio State, not the ones Ohio State need to have come in, but there are offensive linemen Ohio State have to go out and pursue, and I think running backs to pursue as well.
I think you're right. I think that the quarterback position in particular, you'll see cases of like Dylan Gabriel or even us, even with Will Howard or Curtis Rourke in Indiana, that it's worked out with these guys on basically one-year contracts, come in and be a killer right away. But I think the model you would want is closer to Texas. It's closer to having a couple guys in waiting. It's a stable position, because that is, like it or not, still quarterback being stable just feels better. If you've got a guy in there, because, those experiments can go wrong just as well as they can go right. A 1-year quarterback, expecting that out of him. I would say, if I had my pick on which route you'd have, that Texas playbook of this year's Texas playbook of having guys in the wait. But I think everybody, including Ohio State, you're learning as you go. And we're on the cusp of that. If you get a Julian Sayin that is going to play the way that we think he should play, and then have St. Clair coming in behind him, now you kind of have that. It's tough keeping him, but you can deal with two, right? I think a guy will stay. You saw Arch Manning do it. Right. That is next up. That is like, dude, here, you're fully aware of what the situation is. This is how we want to bring you along, and the communication's happening. Now you're gonna lose the guys that are third and fourth to the portal. That's just how it is. But I'm completely with you that that's the sustainable model, and you can't every year. Sometimes you have to, but can't every year rely on going to get a good quarterback to get you through.
And we saw Devin Brown stuck around as the next guy, and now he's gone, and that's okay. Devin Brown's staying with the team through the playoff and all of that, but he is going to transfer, which is fine. And I think he's been a great Buckeye, been a loyal teammate to everybody. I heard nothing but great things about him in the locker room, and how much he's embraced and helped the younger quarterback. So, but Devin Brown's going to be I don't say a casualty. That sounds very tragic, but he is a bit of a casualty of the situation, though, when you've got Julian Sayin and Tavion St. Clair coming in. The writing's on the wall for Devin Brown. And I hope he does well wherever he goes. I'll root for him, but it seemed like this is the right time for him to go.
And you want him to have a chance, too. Sure. Like there's good and bad with everything, and the transfer portal is one of those. Like, you can see it as like, man, this has made a mess of college football. But you have also, in normal years, guys that are pretty good that could go play at places that aren't Ohio State, just get buried on the roster, and you never have a chance to shine. Even if you're not going to be an NFL guy. Right. Especially now, like if you can go to a program that's, even another Big Ten program, or maybe even, a different conference where you're going to get a chance. Maybe you can make a little NIL money and get to shine and actually play and have a college career. I think on balance, overall, that's a good thing. And I think, if you're a guy like him that, like you said, by all accounts has been a great Buckeye, you wish him well as he goes.
All right, folks, stick around in 2 minutes. Kevin McGuff joins us here, head coach for Ohio State women's college basketball team. This is Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
Everyone has that one goal, that thing they want to prove. Not to other people, but to themselves. Then, right when you think you could actually do it, cancer. And that goal is still within reach. I would know. I'm about to run my first ever marathon with my 2 best friends. 3 years after having cancer.
At least we look good in these shorts.
Woo! Let's get it, guys. You, keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keep making plans to learn more.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. Is your home ready for winter? Is your home ready for merriment this time of year? If your windows are drafty, your guests are going to be cold. You should probably take care of that. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. If you act right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 free. There's no limit. You buy 4, you get 4. You get 20, you get 20. Plus 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 whole years of interest-free payments. Call them today, 614-502-5220. Schedule your free in-home estimate or visit uwd.com.
You might not consider yourself a tech expert, but that doesn't mean you can't protect yourself from online scammers with a little help from McAfee Total Protection. Whether it's a fake missed delivery text or an urgent bank alert, these scams can look incredibly convincing. That's where McAfee Total Protection steps in. So go ahead, manage your finances and shop online. McAfee will help keep your device's privacy and identity safer. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 your first year. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
Do you need a new health insurance plan? Now is the time to get one. Literally. If you want Affordable Care Act coverage that starts January 1st, just make sure you apply by December 15th. But don't stress, Health Markets can help. At healthmarkets.com, you can look for available plans or find a licensed insurance agent. They'll answer your questions and when you're ready, even help you apply for your plan. Start the new year off with a plan that fits your needs and budget by visiting healthmarkets.com. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Coffee? These guys don't need coffee. They're jacked on life and Buckeye football. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
New 4-year deal. Got that back in the summer. No, Coach McGuff, same kind of thing like I was describing with Coach Day. Just the smarts, the intelligence, the recruiting acumen. I mean, what we did sort of in the offseason to rebuild the roster after losing some key players, some really high-profile players, but also Cody, coming back and really being the leader. Just fun to, and we're fun to watch. You know what you're going to get too, right? Full court press, up and down, tempo. Let's just score a lot of points. Let's have fun. Let's get the ball in the basket, and then full court press you, get in your face. 40
minutes of hell like Arkansas used to with Nolan Richardson.
Yeah, our crowds are picking up. As we get into December and January. So no, Coach McGuff does a great job. Fun to watch.
That was Ross Bjork on Morning Juice. Kevin, sounds like you may have under-negotiated your contract, but after hearing that, I don't know what you got, but it feels like you should have gotten more.
Well, next time around, I'm going to put you in front of Ross there as my agent. We'll see what we can get done.
Nice win yesterday over Youngstown State, but I'm sitting here yesterday on Fan Sports Saturday. I see Cody's got 16 early on in the first quarter, and I think, let's see, 16, 32, 48, 64. 48's the record for an Ohio State game. She ended up with 29. Is there ever a thought in your mind or her mind like, hey, let's go for this?
Well, yeah, there was a thought in her mind because she asked to go back into the game late in the fourth quarter, and I was like, no, we're not doing that. So, but I would prefer her to want more and to be ambitious in that space, and so it was all good.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on another great win. And I mean, going into this season, you guys have obviously had a lot of success last season, and that was incredibly fun to watch. But man, the Big Ten this year it just seems loaded. What on your end do you think it's going to take for your team to get back there? I know you guys have to, travel across the country. A lot of new challenges coming this year, even to play in conference games. What do you think it's going to take to kind of get back to that level?
Yeah, I thought we had the best women's basketball conference a year ago, and then we go and we add 2 top 5 teams in USC and UCLA and 2 other really good programs in Oregon and Washington. So it's going to be extremely competitive. And, you know, I mean, quite frankly, right now, the way it looks, the Big Ten title runs through Los Angeles. You're going to have to go out there and you're going to have to beat them if you want to win the Big Ten championship, which certainly is our goal every year. And so we know that, and there's a lot of other great teams as well who will compete at the top of this league. But, you know, right now, UCLA and USC look really good. They're very talented. They're well coached. And so I think the biggest thing for us, though, to answer your question, is we just have to continue to get better. Last year, with a lot of fifth-year seniors and people who had been around, we were kind of the team we were going to be fairly early on. But this year's team with 7 new people, the key is for us to just get better each week.
That's a really good point. You mentioned UCLA and USC. Obviously, I think they're 1 and 5 right now, respectively ranked. You guys are heading out there February 5th for USC and then February 8th for UCLA and February 8th for USC. I assume you stay out there for that trip. That's going to be a gauntlet. Tell me a little bit about leading. I know you got a lot of basketball before then, but how important will that, stretch of 5 days be for this program?
Yeah, it's going to be obviously a big stretch, and it's a kind of a new landscape for us because we haven't had to travel to the West Coast for that extended period of time. And so, as you know, this day and age, we've got like sports science people and, what's the best way for sleep and recovery and all that. So we're kind of leaning on our sports science people to figure out, the best way to travel. And then, there's little things to it. It's going to be an interesting trip. Like, because the traffic's so bad in LA, we're actually going to, stay in 2 different hotels. We'll stay close to UCLA. And then after that game, we'll go to another hotel closer to USC just so we're not sitting in traffic all day long, getting practices and stuff like that. And then we're going to play on Saturday. We don't play till the following Thursday after the USC game. So we're going to stay overnight and, get a good night's sleep and then come home on that Sunday. So it'll be a long week. And it'll be a challenging week for our players, with the academics and all that type of stuff. But, that's kind of where we're at with the league right now. It's also an exciting opportunity to play 2 great teams.
Kevin McGuff joins us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. He's the head coach of the Ohio State women's basketball team, currently ranked 11th in the country, 10-0 overall. 1-0 in the Big Ten. As I perused the box score last night, I also listened to the game, I should say, against Youngstown State. No Cambridges in the box score. Can you give us an update on where they are at injury-wise?
Yeah, Kennedy had a little thing with her foot. I think she's close to being back and could possibly play on Tuesday, if not definitely after that. And Jelani banged her shoulder pretty hard in our game against Ball State, and she's, I'd say day to day, probably won't play Tuesday, but could play in the next one potentially.
And then it seems funny to ask this question after seeing what she did yesterday with Cody McMahon, but I know she was dinged up earlier. Is she completely healed now? Is she like at 80%, 90%, or where are we at in her health?
Yeah, she's in a good place. She's been practicing really well. She's been practicing hard, and we haven't limited her to anything. And so, knock on wood, right now she's in a great spot.
What is it this now going into, you got your Tuesday game against Grand Valley State. We'll talk about the start time here in just a little bit, but I want to ask you first, as you go into this game, you're looking at things after the Youngstown State game and recent wins with Ball State, the nice victory of Illinois. What is it your team needs to work on right now to get better?
I think our rebounding has been a little spotty, and it's an area where we have to be way more consistent. And then I think our half-court defense, our full-court pressure has been really good, and if we can kind of marry that with a little bit stingier defense in the half court, I think we'd really be onto something. You mentioned the rebounding in the half court. Are those the same things that you think carry over from last year as far as things you guys have to improve on? Yeah, there's a couple things to it. One is just from a style standpoint, we do a lot of 5 around 0 type stuff on offense, which puts everyone away from the basket. And so we kind of are at a little bit of a deficit to start, so you got to make a conscious effort to go rebound the ball. And so we're just really trying to instill that discipline in our players, because you're not just standing by the basket and just go get it. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is sometimes at the back end of the press, if the other team takes a quick shot and we haven't quite got matched up coming out of the press, it's a little bit challenging. So we have some specific areas where we can point to where we think we have to get better. We just have to drill that and just get more discipline in those areas.
Last year's versus this year's team, you mentioned obviously you guys had a lot of, experience coming back last year. You kind of knew what you had up front. How is that for you as a coach? Is it kind of exciting to have a younger group that you're going to watch mold into what they might become later in the year?
It really is. I mean, I loved last year's group because, JC and Celeste and Rebecca and Ricky Harris, and I had been around those kids for so long, and it was, fun and they were just great kids. But this has been fun too, because I've told people all off season, it's like, hey, I think our talent level is going to be fine. It's just a matter of when can we get to be the team that we're capable of being. And it's fun as a coach, and it's a challenge just to try to help a team reach their potential. But I like the ceiling that this team has, and I'm enjoying just trying to push them on a daily basis to just keep getting better. But it is fun, yes.
Kevin, as a kid growing up, I remember, and still today, the Reds would have businessman specials, business day specials. They did like a noon or 12:30 start time for a game midweek. And you guys are doing a noon tip against Grand Valley State. I'm curious, are you trying to get more business people out there to enjoy their lunch, or you want kids to skip school and come out and watch you guys play?
Well, that's the thing. We do it every year. We try to get the great schools to come out and bring people, and so that's what we're hoping to do on Tuesdays, to get a great crowd and a lot of kids out there, and hopefully a raucous environment.
Should be a lot of fun. Hey, Kev, we appreciate the time, bud. You guys got it rolling again out there. Another great start, 87-39 of Youngstown State. Go check out the Buckeyes at noon on Tuesday to take on Grand Valley State. Then you've got Stanford coming up a few days later after that. That'll be an FS1 game. Really appreciate the time, Kevin. We'll talk again soon. Keep it rolling.
Hey, thanks, fellas. Appreciate you.
That was Kevin McGuff. I love talking to that guy. I'm telling you, I could talk to him all day long.
Yeah, no, he's great. And it's been fun to watch that program. We try to get to at least one of the girls' games every year.
Yeah.
It's usually when Indiana's in town, but
right.
it's been really fun to watch that Ohio State basketball team. Katie Smith on staff now. I forgot to ask him about that.
Come on, Dane.
I'm sorry, man. I should have written it down. I panicked.
I got to believe we'll talk to him next week.
Yeah. No, but it's been really fun. And that's been another thing, too. Like you mentioned the Tuesday noon game.
Yeah.
That's really fun to have.
I think so, too.
Because one of the coolest things to watch during the Caitlin Clark wave that was going was the amount of young girls that got fired up about basketball.
Oh, yeah.
It was it's really cool. So, I mean, I think that's a pretty cool thing that they got set up for this Tuesday.
I think I'm gonna take some time off of work and go out there and check that out on Tuesday. I really do. I love watching them play. They really are. Look, I like McGuff, so biased, yes. But they're so much damn fun to watch with their full court press they do. And it really is. It's 40 minutes of hell. They are relentless out there. And Cody McMahon is so much fun to watch as well. So go out there and check them out. Again, the undefeated Ohio State Buckeyes ranked 11th in the country. Grand Valley State on Tuesday. Coming up next, we'll wrap things up, get you caught up, everything going to the NFL. That's next. This is Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
The meatloaf!
The Fan.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here, and I've been talking about High Bank whiskey for a while now, and I'm not alone. This just in, High Bank Distillery Co. is the most awarded distillery in America for the 2024 San Francisco World Spirits Competition. It's simply the largest spirits competition in the world, and we've got the best right here in Columbus, Ohio. So the next time you're looking for a pour of the good stuff, stop by your local liquor store to grab a bottle, or stop into the 3 restaurant locations in Gahanna, Grandview, or Westerville. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Ready to hit the road in a new car? With Pathways, enjoy up to 90 days with no payments and low auto loan rates. Learn more at pathwayscu.com. Pathways Financial Credit Union, your true financial partner. Federally insured by NCUA.
Year-end pricing. New Kias under $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
$5? You see, Max, the holidays drive everyone crazy! Especially Great Lakes Kia.
Hi, mister. Did you hear? Year-end pricing.
Thanks, kid, but my credit's in the doghouse. No offense, Max.
If you've got a job, you ride.
A job, eh? Go on.
Lease new Kia K4, K5, and Sorrentos. All 3 under $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
That's only $149 a month for 24 months.
New 25 Kia K5 LXS, K4 LXS, and Sorrento LX. Standard with 3rd row seating. All 3 under $5 a day. Save thousands.
Thousands?
And we have 0% financing.
I'm tingly. I can't take it.
You're happy.
New Kias under $5 a day.
During the season of New Tradition sales event.
Great cars.
Great people. Great Lakes Kia.
In Columbus.
GreatLakesKia.com.
To qualified buyers, visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
We're back on the Nada Yada Island Confessions Show. Benny is about to tell us how he found two loves. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks to Metro, I found iPhone 12 and Apple Watch SE.
At Metro, get the perfect match of both iPhone 12 with 5G and Apple Watch SE for only $99.99. You heard that right. Both for just $99.99. Holidays with Nada Yada Yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile.
Bring your number and ID. Sign up for Metro Flex Plus and add a watch line. Not available if you're with T-Mobile or pay with Metro in the past 180 days. Limit 2 per account.
Integrity, honesty, and quality. Words we live by here at Monogram Homes. Hi, this is Dina. And at Monogram Homes, we strive to bring your wants to your man cave, your needs to your kitchen, and your ideas to life. Most home builders claim to be custom, but starting with stock floor plans and templates isn't our idea of a tailored experience. At Monogram Homes, we start with a blank slate and work with you until you get exactly what you want. So start your true custom home journey today with a builder you can trust. Monogram Homes. Visit us online at monogramhomes.net.
What's better than the sound of a Krispy Kreme truck delivering fresh donuts to McDonald's?
Enjoy a Krispy Kreme donut paired with an any size hot or iced coffee for just $3. Offer valid 12/10 to 4/30/25 while supplies last. Price and participation may vary.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community, except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station, except Bo. The Fan.
Some things in life are meant for each other, like salt and pepper, bacon and mushrooms, or you and the all-new Wendy's Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, does bacon go with mushrooms? And the answer is, they do now. So if you want crispy, crunchy, cheesy, juicy, shroomy, and garlic spready, then you and the Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger are meant to be. For mushroomy, bacony goodness, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron, did you know I invented one of the most important things in the whole toilet industry?
You did? What was it?
I invented jiggling the handle.
You did that? Doesn't everybody just...
Think back to the first time you jiggled the handle on a toilet that wouldn't stop running. It was because somebody shouted, "Jiggle the handle."
I guess now that I think about it.
Well, that person was told by somebody, and that somebody was told by somebody, and it all traces back to me.
Get Eco.
So, as impressive as that is, Jerry, you know people could just get Eco to come and fix their toilet so it doesn't run on.
That would also work, I guess.
Get Eco.
And once we fix it, it's fixed. You don't have to jiggle the handle next time.
No, you're right. That is better.
Although we should keep passing your wisdom along, in case it happens at somebody else's house.
Thanks, Aaron.
Get Eco.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
If you've been too busy to sign up for your health insurance plan, it's understandable. It's also why there's health markets. At healthmarkets.com, you can see the plans available to you and even speak to a licensed insurance agent. Just dial pound 250 and say Health Markets. They'll answer your questions, and when you're ready, even help you apply. Just dial pound 250 and say Health Markets. Getting your new health insurance plan could be easier than you think. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Take The Fan with you wherever you go with the Fan app. Download it now, or we'll find you. You bring your lunch money today? Good, give it to us. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
Fan Sports Sunday, final segment of the program. Thank you to Kevin McGuff for joining us. Go out there and check him out at noon on Tuesday against Grand Valley State. You will not be disappointed. NFL going on right now. Get you updated on some scores going on there. I told you the Browns are on the AM side, taking on the Chiefs, ESPN 1460. Scoring that game right now, Chiefs up 7-0, early second quarter in that one. And for those of you playing along at home, Jameis Winston does have an interception. I'm not trying to hate on him. I'm just saying. Mahomes threw a touchdown pass to Juju Smith-Schuster. And that one, also the Titans lead the Bengals 14-7. That game's early in the second quarter as well. Joe Burrow does have a touchdown pass in that game. And it went to Chase Brown for 6 yards. Titans have got 2 touchdowns on the ground. Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears both have rushed for scores in that game. What else we got here? Commanders over the Saints 7-0. Ravens lead the Giants 14-0. That game, by the way, Dane, had a 14.5 point spread, I think, and maybe actually up to 15.5, which is a huge spread for a road team. The Ravens are favored by like 15.5 or 16, it might even be. They're up 14-0 in that game. Lamar Jackson's got a couple of touchdown passes already there. Cowboys lead the Panthers 7-0. That game about 9 minutes ago in the second quarter there. Cooper Rush with a touchdown pass to CeeDee Lamb. And what was Jets-Jaguars tied at 7. And Mac Jones has a touchdown pass for Jacksonville. Garrett Wilson caught one for the Jets. Dolphins and Texans tied at 3-3 in that game. That game being played down in Houston. C.J. Stroud and the Texans currently atop the AFC South, looking to get back into the playoffs again. So that's another one you can watch there. Later on today at 4:25, Colts-Broncos, Bills at Lions in a marquee game, Steelers at the Eagles. The Steelers have not beaten the Eagles in Philadelphia, Dane, since 1965.
No way.
Now, they don't play every year, obviously. They obviously only play, every few years or whatever. But still, yeah, the last time the Steelers won in Philly was 1965. That's an amazing thing there for them if they can get a win in the Keystone State Battle. Patriots at the Cardinals at 4:25. Also, Buccaneers at the Chargers. Tonight, you get Packers and Seahawks at 8:20. We got a doubleheader on Monday night. Bears, Vikings, and Falcons, Raiders with the two games. I shouldn't say doubleheader because they're not playing back-to-back. One starts at 8, one starts at 8:30. So that's your NFL slate for today. When we were talking, I played earlier this clip from Ross Bjork. I'll play another here for you, Dane. He was asked by Bobby, this was this week on Thursday, on the process about raising funds for NIL. Here's what Ross Bjork had to say on Morning Juice.
There's a gap period between now and July 1st when we can actually start directly compensating athletes for their NIL rights. $20.5 million. Ohio State's going to be all in. Obviously, we're going to have some new scholarships, but that doesn't take effect until July 1. Between now and then, we want more flexibility. We want to be more in the driver's seat. We want to actually be able to take our Learfield partner. Obviously, the Fan is our flagship radio station. There's a lot of crossover. We want Learfield to be able to do a contract directly with an athlete. We want to be able to maybe take the Buckeye Club and do an NIL agreement with an athlete. We want that flexibility. The governor signed an executive order, which gives us that flexibility. We want the state law to sort of bolster that. And so during this gap period, we believe a state law can be modified. We're working on it. Hopefully something gets passed here, maybe in the next couple weeks before Christmas. It's more flexibility during this gap period than it has been in the past. That's what we're looking for.
I can't imagine the layers on this.
Yeah. Let's talk about something else.
Right? It's like I can't. It's like he's my geometry teacher explaining something to me. There are so many different things involved in this. I can't grasp all of it.
I think, it's an effort to get as much money as you can available to you to build the best roster you can and minimize how much has to come out of your particular Ohio State war chest.
Right.
So the more that you can connect directly to the athletes with whatever it is, that's incentive for them to stay. That's not chipping away at that $20 million. It's going to be so interesting to see in the years to come, or even next year, what's the all-in budget that's going into this? Because just because now you can pay an extra $20 million as a university, that doesn't mean the NIL is going to slow down.
Right.
It's going to be not or. So like what your actual budget looks like that you have available. Wow.
It's interesting to me, Dane, how I made the comment to him. You didn't hear it in the clip there. I said, yeah, this is exactly what you were trained for back in the mid-'90s when you started athletic administration. Like, none of this stuff was in there. All this stuff he's got to learn. So you might be learning to be an AD, okay? And so you cut your teeth. You do different things as you move up the ladder. And all these different things you've got to deal with. And then all of a sudden, boom, this. And same thing with Ryan Day. If you would have told Ryan Day, this is what a college football head coach does, would he have taken the job back then? Maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't. We know Saban wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way. So you've got situations here where it has changed so much, the job description and what you have to deal with. And it's exponentially gotten more difficult to be a head football coach at a major university and to be an AD at a major university with all this stuff going on. I can't possibly fathom. It'd be like all of a sudden if all of a sudden they told Cam and told us, oh, hey, by the way, in addition to YouTube, we're going to have live telecasts going on. So, Cam, you got to be able to manage the cameras and the times and the commercials and all this stuff. And Tito and Dane, get your makeup on, and you're going to have to do these different reads, and we got something going live here, something like it totally changes everything.
Yes. I mean, that's it. I think it's going to be hard to process in real time just for everybody, the moment that we're in college football, because it is changing so much. Like, you're actually we're talking about a complete shift from amateur to essentially professional athletics without missing a beat on season, games, venues, anything. You're trying to retrofit this thing, and even with, exactly like you said, the job responsibilities of an AD and of a player. I mean, think about how much it's changed for a player in the short time since I was there in 2010. Right. Okay, the difference in a college football player's responsibilities in 2010 versus right now.
Right.
It's mind-boggling. We can almost, the best we can do is just talk about the games that are coming up, because getting into that, you're like, I don't even know how to explain. I don't even know how to be a representative of that thing, because it's so far removed.
Sure.
From what my lived experience was. You know, it's and they're just figuring it out as they go too. I mean, it's something brand new. I don't know. I guess on the one hand, the job for him, for Ross Bjork, has always been raise money, and that is still the job. You know, that is so there is some level. It's just a different way that it's being filtered, and that they need to use it. Now they need to take into consider player compensation more than they did. Creating better facilities, new environment that gives you a competitive advantage. Really, you're just balancing how much I can raise and then how I can put Ohio State in the best position with that money, whether it's in player pocket, whether it's in deals, whether it's all these considerations that, yes, were foreign even a couple years ago, much less 10 years ago. But we're along for the ride, man. We're going to watch it play out.
We're going to watch it. Yeah, we're going to love it. But even like you look at the coaching thing, having to re-recruit your roster a lot. You know, like having to re-recruit players, because the transport now you can go wherever and play right away. You can do that now. And we saw Ohio State, Ryan Day had to re-recruit some people last year. A lot of them stuck around because they wanted to achieve certain goals this year. They're still trying to work towards. But yeah, as a head coach, having to re-recruit your roster, though, is also, to me, a fascinating part of this.
I think it'll get easier as they go. As they get a feel for what this is, as you know as a coach what your war chest is, like what we can. And I think that's why the Belichick conversation was so interesting, because they essentially said, it's a little easier on coaches from the aspect of recruiting. You don't have to do as much, because if you sit down, look at your budget, $1 million recruits a guy fast. It's not convincing him. It's saying like, hey, we think you're worth this. We're going to allot this amount in our budget. And the guys that they don't allot that to, they go ahead and transfer. But like you said, we'll watch it, and it's far from done in its morphing.
Make sure you stick around today. Game day's coming up after this. And it's Jackets time, starting at 4:30 on the Fan before they take on the Hurricanes. Puck drop at 5 o'clock. Also tomorrow on Morning Juice, we will have Joshua Perry on for his normal morning segment. I'm on. That'll be at 8:30, I believe, on Monday with me and Bobby Carpenter. We'll have him on tomorrow morning. Thank you, Dane. Thank you, Cam. Thank you to all of our guests today, especially Kevin McGuff. We appreciate that. Game day next, right here on the Fan.
Matty Ice is currently bathing himself in creamy jalapeno dip, and I've officially run out of ways to tease this show. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan.
Here we come, plumbing. We are known as Apex Pros. If you're plumbing,
honey, there's carolers at the door. I'm not sure with
your furnace goes out. There's no one near. Apex Pros comes running.
Something about furnaces and plumbing, I think.
What? If your furnace dies or your pipes aren't clear, electric trouble in your home, Apex Pros are near.
No, it's not very good, is it? Come in.
Heating, plumbing, electrical too. Apex Pros knows what to do.
No, not really Christmassy to sing about plumbing and furnaces, is it? Oh, yeah, they got that guarantee. What's that called?
5-star guarantee.
Are they listening out there? Can they hear what we're saying? Yeah, probably should just lock the door.
Apex Pros, Apex Pros, Apex Pros.
I don't know what Apex Pros is. You just Apex.
GreatLakesKia.com. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Is your business generating over $1 million a year in revenue? If your financial advisory team isn't keeping pace, maybe it's time for a change. Here's Brad Hennebert with Premier Advisors.
Thanks, Bobby. Our team integrates financial planning and asset management with business accounting and tax preparation. Business owners have planning needs that are unique. We work with you to design a seamless financial services bundle tailored to your business with monthly or quarterly advisory consultations to help guide you along the way. We don't just keep score of what happened last year. Our team combines expert financial planning and wealth management with top-tier tax services, helping businesses like yours build wealth for you. Call us today at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Brad Hennebert is a registered representative offering securities through United Planners Financial Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through TCP Asset Management LLC. Tax services offered through Premier Tax CPAs. United Planners is not affiliated with TCP Asset Management, Premier Advisors, or Premier Tax CPAs.
Year-end pricing. New Kias under $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
$5! You see, Max, the holidays drive everyone crazy! Especially Great Lakes Kia.
Hi, mister. Did you hear? Year-end pricing.
Thanks, kid, but my credit's in the doghouse. No offense, Max.
If you've got a job, you ride.
A job, eh? Go on.
Lease new Kia K4, K5, and Sorrentos. All three under $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
That's only $149 a month for 24 months.
New 25 Kia K5 LXS, K4 LXS, and Sorrento LX. Standard with third row seating. All three under $5 a day. Save thousands.
Thousands?
And we have 0% financing.
I'm warm. I'm tingly. I can't take it.
You're happy.
New Kias under $5 a day.
During the season of New Tradition sales event.
Great cars.
Great people. Great Lakes Kia.
In Columbus.
GreatLakesKia.com.
To qualified